76. Did Bruce tell Joker Oracle was Carla? How is this possible? Such a childish estrangement. Carla sneered, she would not be fooled. Boom. Carla grabbed Joker by the collar, not at all afraid of his horrible makeup, and lifted Joker to her face. Joker is set to be the same height as Batman, while Bruce is 1.88 meters tall and Carla is 1.9 meters tall, which allows her to condescendingly put pressure on Joker. Say, how did you know my identity, and the threat to blow up Jennifer, how did you do it? What did you do? Carla raised the volume, looking even more horrified under the voice changer. But Joker was not threatened by her at all, instead he smiled, if you want to threaten others, I suggest you add a little torture method. Like taking out your heart. Carla moved her gaze down, aiming at Joker's hard heart. If Joker hadn't spoken in time just now, she would have pierced through there. As a result, Joker shook his head, no, that's too easy. I mean that you can use some methods to torture your opponent crazy. Kill his most important people in front of him. Or physical torture. It was as if he didn't know that what he said could happen to him at any time, or he just didn't mind or didn't care. Carla only felt that she had nowhere to use her strength. This kind of crazy, nervous, and terrifying opponent was the most difficult to deal with, so she planned to kill Joker directly from the very beginning. But Carla is still a little careless or conceited and she still gives Joker a chance to speak. And inevitably, Carla fell into Joker's rhythm. She couldn't ignore Jennifer's safety, let alone the danger that her identity might be exposed at any time. You'd better not keep me off, I'm afraid of myself if I get angry, Carla began to gasp, not a sign that she was about to lose control, but another deterrent. She will not let herself be completely led by the Joker. When necessary, she may resort to extraordinary measures, such as killing the Joker instantly, and then fly to Jennifer's hospital with all her strength, only saving Jennifer regardless of other people's lives. Maybe Joker also knew that he couldn't go too far, so he spread his hands and began to explain Carla's doubts. Actually, I guessed it, I attacked Wayne's manor before, Bruce Wayne attacked last night, now it's the next day dawn, throwing a charity gala, or rather a fundraiser, for Harvey Dent. It turns out that Joker not only attacked Jennifer and the director, he also attacked Harvey Dent. After all, Harvey Dent is now like the Light Knight of Gotham City, guarding Gotham City with Batman, the Dark Knight, as a double knight. In fact, Oracle Man is also known as the female knight, but she only appeared once, and never appeared again. So everyone agrees with the statement of the two knights. As a result, while attacking Harvey, Joker encountered Batman and was ruined. After all, it was at Bruce's house, and he was sure to be there in time. At that time, Joker wasn't sure who Batman was, but it was a coincidence that Joker took Rachel as a hostage at that time, and in the process of threatening Rachel's life, he guessed by observing Bruce's actions and desperate attitude. He is Batman. Now that you know that Bruce Wayne is Batman, it's not difficult to guess the identity of Oracle Man. First of all, although your relationship with Bruce is not close, it is not unfamiliar. It can be said that Bruce can trust, because there are not many women Hill, and I also know that you have traveled all over the world like Bruce, you are such an amazing woman. In this way, only you can be the Oracle Man. Even only you can easily interview Bruce Wayne, and even get photos of Batman and Oracle Man. All the signs make me focus on you. What's more, even if my reasoning is unsuccessful, it doesn't matter even if it fails. But judging from your reaction just now, it's obvious that I bet right, right? Carla Kent. It has to be said that Joker has meticulous thinking and superb reasoning, and even the criminal psychology and anti-reconnaissance that give Batman a headache. And he has always been recognized as one of Batman's strongest opponents. Joker's strength is not his own strength, but his madness, nervousness, fear of death, and purposeless chaos and evil, coupled with his superb mind, is simply invincible. Don't feel like I'm threatening you. I have set up tons of explosives in Justice Jennifer's hospital, and I can let it go up to the sky at any time. Joker mentioned the threat to Jennifer again. You definitely don't want to. Would you die if you saw your best friend without even seeing your own child? 0 for flowers. 0 Joker has repeatedly threatened Carla, but Carla has nothing to do with him, because Joker has accurately pinpointed her Achilles heel. Tell me, what do you want to do? Carla had no choice but to loosen Joker's collar. She didn't dare to risk Jennifer, and she didn't want to reveal her identity. In the end, she still had to follow Joker's rhythm, or enter out of his rhythm. Joker showed a smug expression, and at the same time said his plan, I just want to play a game with you, I will not reveal the identity of you and Bruce, but I will let you disclose it willingly, if you can bear if I survive the test, I will keep this secret in my heart forever and will not tell anyone. 0 You think I can trust you? Carla sneered. But Joker asked back, can't you kill me at any time? Carla is silent, she can't let Joker go, because he knows his identity. Joker apparently also guessed that Carla would kill him. But he didn't care at all. Sometimes when facing a guy like Joker, there is really nothing he can do. When a person is not afraid of death, but also has a terrifying mind and IQ, it will be an extremely terrifying opponent. Carla clearly knew that Joker's real plan was not what he said, but she was still helpless. Aren't you afraid that I will kill you regardless? Even if you planted a bomb, I guess you need to press the button. Carla finally threatened Joker. Joker opened his hands and reminded Carla, if the controller was on me, I would have taken it out in the first place. As long as I die, the hospital will explode. In fact, Carla has secretly scanned it with perspective, and there is indeed no controller on Joker. What should we do now? Do we really want to accompany him to play around with a lunatic? But she seemed to have no choice. It seems that I have to go back to discuss with Bruce. You'd better not do stupid things, Carla pointed at Joker, warning him not to do stupid things that would get him out of control, such as hurting Jennifer, or revealing her identity. 77. Facing the threat of Joker, Carla had to temporarily choose to compromise. The reason is that Jennifer is under a fatal threat, and she must go back to make sure. So Carla gave up killing Joker on the spot, but turned around and left quickly. Joker looked at the back of Carla leaving, the smile on the corner of his mouth became more and more open, and finally he let out a big laugh, he didn't know what he was laughing at. Carla paused, but finally restrained herself, gritted her teeth, clenched her fists and walked away quickly. If Joker dares to lie to her, if there is no bomb in the hospital where Jennifer is, she will definitely come back as soon as possible. However, before dawn, Carla quickly flew over the hospital under the cover of the last night and turned on supervision to search the entire hospital. Unexpectedly, she actually found the bomb. Joker is not as deceitful as 673, but Carla did not expect that he was really so mad. Carla hastily disposed of the bombs. She has never learned how to dismantle bombs, but Carla also has her own method, using super freezing gas to freeze all the bombs into ice cubes, and then put them in a bag to be taken away, so that professionals can dismantle them. Then, Carla hurried back to Jennifer's room. Jennifer, wake up, it's time to leave, Carla called Jennifer. Jennifer was taken aback, because Carla was still wearing Oracle Man's battle suit, and when she opened her eyes, she saw one of her idols, the superhero, appearing in front of her eyes. Isn't that too surprising and unexpected? Oracle Man? I'm not dreaming, am I? Jennifer suddenly turned into a little fangirl, looking at Carla in surprise. Carla raised her hand dumbfoundingly and lifted her hood, okay, it's me, Carla. Jennifer opened her mouth wide and looked at Carla dumbfounded, feeling disillusioned all at once. Why is it you? Jennifer shouted angrily, wait, why is it you? Carla, the Oracle Man I have always admired and longed for is you? Give me back my previous praise and admiration. This is actually the reaction of anyone who encounters this kind of thing. The superhero I admire turned out to be my usual friend, including myself who said many shameful things. Jennifer is in this state now. She sat there covering her face, one was that she suddenly couldn't believe that Carla was Oracle Man, and the other was that she remembered the shameful things she said in front of Carla before, it was simply a dark history that could not be recalled. The superhero she admired so much turned out to be her good sister. You have to make it up to me, Carla. Jennifer raised her head and looked at Carla resentfully, you have to hug me well. Is that all? That definitely is fine. But Carla opened a bag she brought back, revealing more than a dozen bombs that should be C4 or the like, but now they are all frozen into ice cubes by her. Now is not the time to say that, Jennifer, that lunatic obviously hasn't given up on attacking you, you have to go with me. Damn, I didn't notice that there were so many bombs in the hospital, Carla cursed. She herself is not afraid of explosives. With Carla's current physical strength, she can withstand even a nuclear bomb. Clark wasn't even close. But what about others? Even if Carla can protect Jennifer in the first place, can the child in her stomach withstand the shock? Even if Carla can separate psychokinesis and her biological stance to protect Jennifer and her unborn child, what about the others? Does anyone else in the hospital care? I have to say that Carla was really careless. She should have scanned the hospital as soon as possible, otherwise Joker could have been killed just now. Carla believes that Joker has not confirmed that she is Carla Kent before meeting her, and if Joker is killed at that time, nothing will happen. But because of her own carelessness, she was not only led by the nose by Joker, but also confirmed by him. Now even if Joker is killed, he may have told others about Carla's identity. Once Joker is dead, his men may reveal Carla's identity to the world. That was a picture Carla never wanted to see. So she could only hold back her temper and go to meet Bruce and discuss it later. As for exposing her identity to Jennifer, one is that she believes in her best friend, and the other is that Jennifer is obviously not out of danger yet, and she will even become one of Joker's breakthroughs in order to protect Jennifer. Carla must take her to Wayne Manor, which will be the safest safe house. It is absolutely impossible for Bruce to watch his children be in danger, right? Jennifer is the only man. This child is obviously the next generation of the Wayne family. Hearing that Alfred is going crazy, he has been urging Bruce to bring him back Zero, but Afu didn't understand Bruce's difficulties, and now Bruce was chasing Jennifer around. Jennifer, Bruce is Batman, and I'm going to take you to Wayne Manor, which is the safest place, Carla said, helping Jennifer up, help her change clothes for going out. Jennifer stood there stupidly, hat. I want to die, Carla, let me be blown to death. Jennifer knelt down covering her face. Carla looked at her friend amusedly. Didn't she say it before? She had given up on Bruce, and wanted to have a relationship with Batman, and said that Batman was her idol. Turns out, Batman is Bruce. I'm not going. Jennifer shook her head vigorously, ashamed to go to Wayne Manor to face Bruce again. Carla persuaded, now is not the time to joke. Jane, do you know why I suddenly confessed my identity to you? Because that lunatic, that BD has already guessed the identity of me and Bruce. Now his goal is just in Gotham City, but what if he sends someone to our hometown? My parents, your parents, even Dan's parents, our family is being implicated by us. Now is not the time to be petty. What's more, whether it's Bruce or Batman, aren't they both your male gods? Your idol and male god has become the father of your child. What else do you have to resist? Carla said intentionally. Jennifer covered her heart with her hands, and stared at Carla resentfully. Are you still stimulating me? Carla shook her head amusedly, picked up the bag of bombs with one hand, and put her other arm around Jennifer's shoulder to make her stand up. I really can't hold you and leave, so stop being coquettish. By the way, help me put on the headgear, Carla said to Jennifer Nunu, and put on the headgear she just took off. Jennifer obediently picked up the hood and helped Carla cover her perfect face. Come on, I called Bruce, I guess his car is here. 78. When Carla came downstairs to the hospital with Jennifer in his arms, there was indeed a pure black armored combat vehicle parked there on the street outside. It was a Batmobile, and it had been used last time against the Shadow Warrior Alliance. However, Bruce has recently started to develop a new type of tank. I don't know if this is it. It is said that a locomotive is placed in the tank so that when the tank is seriously damaged, it is easier to change the locomotive. Carla also has her own chariot, but the color is different. It is silver grey. It was because of Jennifer's change that a certain stubborn man unilaterally changed her battlesuit and equipment to silver grey without asking Carla's wishes. Although Carla doesn't mind either. The jerk, meaning Joker, definitely not. The doors opened automatically as Carla and Jennifer approached, one from the co-pilot and one from the rear. As a result, Jennifer unceremoniously grabbed the co-pilot's door and slammed it hard, and followed Carla to the back seat. Carla shrugged, just because she could protect Jennifer more easily. Bruce didn't know that his identity had been exposed, so he asked in the 20 voice of the voice changer, has the bomb been defused? Carla simply threw the package to the co-pilot. Look. Bruce was taken aback. Didn't he know that Carla brought all the bombs out, and even threw them over? But he was relieved after opening the package. Although he didn't know how Carla managed to freeze them, at least now he didn't have to worry about blowing up the 3 of them. Are you sure it's safe to go to Wayne Manor? Bruce was still acting, pretending he wasn't Bruce but someone else. Jennifer behind her looked at Bruce with her arms folded, and said with a sneer, fake it, keep pretending. I already know everything, Bruce. Bruce turns to look at Carla. Carla simply took off the hood, and said without waiting for Bruce to ask, "Even Rachel knows, and that joker, that lunatic, also guessed the identity of you and me because of your previous relationship. Damn, what did you do before? What did you do? Invite your Miss Rachel to dance." In fact, Carla also has a lot of grievances. One is to complain about the injustice of her best friend, and the other is really complaining that Bruce has exposed her identity. Bruce had nothing to say, his momentum weakened, and he muttered, "He threatened Rachel's life and almost threw her off the building, so I may have exposed some flaws. But how did he guess you? Bruce, he is not an idiot. Although he is a lunatic, his IQ may be higher than that of you and me. He guessed it based on some cobweb clues. Although you acted cynically, after guessing that you are Batman, and I'm sure that Rachel can't be the Oracle Man, so you can trust, there are women with enough strength, you can imagine that I'm the only one? He even investigated the fact that I have traveled all over the world, although it's nothing secret." Carla recounts Joker's reasoning. And Carla is very sure of Joker's IQ, even a little jealous. Carla is not afraid of other things, she is not afraid of being threatened, at least the Earth does not have Krypton now, and there is no way for the Sun to directly transition to the Red Giant stage. She is invincible. But what about her family and friends? Except for Clark, they are all ordinary people, and she can't bear any blow. Bruce started to start the chariot, and without talking nonsense, he drove straight to Wayne Manor. During the boarding process, the atmosphere in the car was always a little awkward. Jennifer didn't speak, Carla didn't speak, and Bruce wanted to speak several times but couldn't find a topic. For the first time, he felt that after removing his acting skills and mask, he turned out to be such a clumsy tongue. When the chariot returned to Wayne Manor, the sun was finally about to rise in the sky. Carla asked what to do with the bombs, but Bruce said, "Afu can handle it." Only then did she realize that the housekeeper had never been simple, no wonder he had been dubbed the housekeeper. Because those frozen bombs still need some time to thaw, Afu was not in a hurry to deal with them, but enthusiastically circled around Jennifer, and asked with concern, "May I ask Miss Jennifer if she was scared? Get the family doctor that the Wayne family has been cooperating with? And the fetus is not frightened? Or... Wait, Afu, the fetus is not formed yet, it's only a month old, don't be so worried and impatient." Even Bruce couldn't stand it any longer, and started to remove the equipment in the hall, while stopping Afu from letting Jennifer too bothered. Jennifer's pretty face was slightly red, and she still couldn't adapt to being discussed about her child in front of outsiders. Alfred glanced at Bruce. In fact, since he drove the Batmobile through the main entrance, he already knew that Jennifer had obviously guessed his identity. But Afu still wants to warn Bruce, "Master, should you send the Batmobile to the Batcave first? Just park it outside so blatantly, I can't help you cover. Also, Miss Jennifer, excuse me, what would you like to eat? Why did you turn around and care about Jennifer again?" Carla on the side also thought it was funny. In the past, Afu had always wanted to match her and Bruce, but now he gave up completely, and saw hope in Jennifer. The Wayne family has a future. But Afu never knew that Jennifer was ready to get rid of the child at any time, but she didn't know if she would do that when she knew that Bruce was Batman, and the Batman she was thinking of was Bruce, who was also the father of her child. 2. Carla also went to the Batcave with Bruce, and she also had to change her equipment. When they came back, they found that Afu had already prepared breakfast, and there was a rich breakfast on the table. Definitely means that the breakfast in front of Jennifer was rich, and in front of Bruce, there was only one piece of bread, a glass of milk, 3 strips of bacon and a fried egg. Carla wisely pulled the chair and came to Jennifer's side, since she couldn't finish eating anyway. Jennifer sighed with a headache on her face. In fact, she had told Afu not to be so enthusiastic, and she couldn't bear it. She didn't intend to come to this house to be the hostess, and she even let go of her feelings for Bruce. If she didn't suddenly know that Bruce was Batman, she might have taken the child away when she was discharged from the hospital. In other words, she planned to be discharged from the hospital today. When the time comes, the surgery will be completed. But now, Jennifer glanced at Bruce opposite with a complicated face, and then quickly turned her head to look at Carla beside her, not letting Bruce catch her small movements. "So, what do you guys do now? Will that lunatic really keep his word?" Jennifer was also worried about Carla's situation. Carla sighed, "Can only hope he keeps his word." At this time, Bruce on the opposite side finally found an opportunity, and quickly opened his mouth to join the discussion between the two women. "Carla, you don't really think that the game he wants to play is just our identities, do you? I don't think it's that simple. 79. In fact, Bruce's worry is the most correct. Joker has made so many preparations just to reveal the identity of Batman and Oracle Man? How could it be that simple? Even Karla herself understands this truth. But Karla reminds Bruce, but we're being held hostage. How? Bruce and Jennifer looked at Karla together. Karla took a sip of the milk in front of him, and explained the current situation to the two. Bruce, even if we know that Joker's real purpose is not this, we can't be careless. Because the reason is very simple, our identities must not be revealed. In fact, it is very simple for Joker to kill us. He doesn't even need to take action. As long as our identities are exposed, countless people naturally want us to die. You'll say we can protect ourselves, and not be afraid of the gangsters you've offended. But what if the enemy is the police department you've been helping? If Gordon brings someone to arrest you, if Harvey and Rachel send a subpoena, what if Jennifer puts you on trial? Even when the time comes, all the citizens of Gotham City will want to arrest you, definitely including me. Killing and punishing one's heart, sometimes you don't have to kill, the most terrifying thing is to punish one's heart. We have always existed above the law. As you said, we are originally not bound by the law. The only thing that can constrain us is the morality we believe in. So we are all sinners, even if what you do is good, you are still a sinner. Karla's words made Bruce's and Jennifer's expressions serious. Karla described herself as being held hostage. Now we can only cooperate with that lunatic to continue playing, otherwise you think I will return empty-handed? No, I was going to kill him this morning, but Jennifer was threatened by him, I had to stop. Speaking of Bruce, do you still want to stop me from killing that lunatic this time? Definitely. I didn't expect Bruce to look straight into Karla's eyes without any hesitation, and said, if we also become like him and wantonly hurt other people's lives, then what is the difference between us and him? Got it, Karla waved his hand impatiently, stop talking about your big truths, I'm tired of hearing them. At worst, I'll kill him behind your back. Bruce wanted to say more. Karla turned her head to Jennifer's stomach and said deliberately, smelly boy, I can't do anything with your father, but I won't let you become that kind of rigid and pedantic person. Wait for me to train you to be an executioner. Jennifer quickly covered her stomach with her hand, and glared at Karla. Executioner is not a nice word. Bruce even reminded, that is my child, he is destined to become the heir of the Wayne family and the Wayne group, don't even think about it. Jennifer looked at the two amusedly, I haven't said I'm going to give birth yet, have I? You're overthinking it. She is the one who has the most decision-making power. Well, sorry, she may still firmly plan that this child should not be born. Bruce's face sank immediately, he knew where the problem was, just like Joker took the opportunity to see through his identity when he showed his flaws before, he still couldn't let it go. It's okay to save Rachel, but he cares too much about Rachel, you can see the difference in his eyes and attitude towards Rachel. Especially for girls, this feeling is the most uncomfortable and unacceptable. No one would like the person they love to have another person in their heart, especially the one they have loved for 10 years. This child was an accident, and the biggest accident was knowing that Bruce was Batman, which made Jennifer feel headache and tangled. Leave me alone for a while, I want to be quiet, Jennifer said goodbye to Karla and Bruce at the same time, turned and left the restaurant. Karla asked from behind, Jane, who is Jing Jing? Jennifer was not in the mood to pay attention to Karla's joke and left quickly. With Afu taking care of Jennifer, Karla and Bruce don't have to worry about her. Then there were only two people left face to face. Karla looked around, picked up a piece of bread that neither she nor Jennifer had touched, and handed it over. I don't know if Afu is complaining, or Bruce doesn't eat much in the morning, his breakfast is obviously not enough for Bruce to eat. Bruce was not polite, and it was even more impossible to dislike it, so he chewed it in his mouth. Karla laughed and picked up what she hadn't finished eating, and took a big gulp of the milk that Jennifer had only drank. Bruce raised an eyebrow. Hey, she doesn't seem to have anything to do with you right now, Karla glared at Bruce. They have nothing to do with each other yet. On the contrary, she and Jennifer have been close friends for many years, so this little thing is nothing. In the past, the three of them would buy 3 kinds of ice cream and eat each other. Definitely the kind to eat with a spoon. To be honest, Bruce, I want to know what is going on with your current attitude. If all you care about is that child, I hope you will stop pestering Jennifer. She finally let go. I don't want her to continue to be hurt. What's more, you don't suffer from that matter, do you? Carla put on a serious expression, regardless of the huge threat of Joker, but spoke for her friend. What's the matter with you and Rachel? Isn't Rachel Harvey's boyfriend? Or did she promise you something? Carla suddenly spoke to the point, guessing the complicated relationship between Rachel and Bruce. Bruce nodded and admitted, yes, Rachel promised me that as long as I can stop being Batman one day, she will be with me. Peng Shen. Carla hammered the table, and her expression was also ugly. She was so angry that she directly picked up the food on the table in front of her and threw it to the opposite side. Still not relieved, she poured half of Jennifer's glass of milk over it. Bullet and Ruth did not hide, but endured silently. Disgusting, Carla stood up angrily, pointing at Bruce, while you're thinking about other people's women in your heart, you're still pestering another woman? You're a scum, pervert. This time Carla is not just angry because she is Jennifer's best friend, as she said, Rachel is now Harvey's girlfriend, and it is immoral for you to think about other people's girlfriends. Besides, Bruce is still pestering Jennifer. It's not fair to anyone, it's immoral, it's simply scum, and it's disgusting. Carla sneered, so, the purpose of holding a charity party for Harvey before was to raise enough funds for him, so that Harvey can govern Gotham City for you without any worries, and also so that you can get rid of this problem as soon as possible. Wearing a battle suit, so that you can sleep together with your Miss Rachel? I really want to slap your size 36 shoes on your face. 80. It's hard to say whether Bruce is affectionate or thin or promiscuous. He has a deep love for Rachel, just like Jennifer has been secretly in love with him for 10 years. Bruce's feelings for Rachel may have been there since he understood the concept of love. This is nothing, and Carla will not accuse Bruce of loving Rachel instead of Jennifer. As for Jennifer's choice, it is her freedom, and she cannot force Bruce to take responsibility. Jennifer even planned to take this opportunity to let go, but the child came unexpectedly and suddenly. But what Bruce did later made Carla unacceptable. Even Bruce's support for Harvey is probably for his conspiracy. Bruce said that Rachel promised him that as long as he wasn't Batman, they would be together. But you can't ignore that Rachel is Harvey's girlfriend now. You've been thinking about the girlfriend of someone you keep saying you want to support, is that okay? CO author, are you the big brother who you made friends with because your sister-in-law is pretty? What about basic moral values? And he was pestering Rachel, what did Carla think he cared about? It turned out it was just a child? Then why didn't you let Rachel give birth to you? Damn, I'm still talking so much for you, I'm really blind. Carla waved her hand, turned around and left. Bye, please don't bother us. Bruce, who was reprimanded angrily, looked at the back of Carla leaving angrily, wanted to say something but couldn't say anything. After a while, Ah Fu came in and glanced at Bruce, who was in a mess. If Miss Jennifer was my child, I might be worse than Miss Carla. But he ended up delivering a towel. Bruce shrugged, took a towel to wipe off his things, and asked, did they leave in a fit of anger? Bruce is worried that Carla and Jennifer will drive his sports car back to Jennifer's house like the previous time. Ah Fu shook his head, they are upstairs. But they don't want you to go there, otherwise they will leave. And Miss Carla also warned you, if you want her to help, at least for the time being, she has the right to control the room in this house. Carla thought about it, this is Bruce's home, yes, but Bruce needs her help now. That's good, she doesn't have to feel indebted, she just uses the temporary room usage right as the price and bargaining chip for helping, she won't take advantage of it. Bruce can only let her go. Upstairs, Carla finds Jennifer, who she's calling. Jennifer made a wait gesture and said to the phone, Harvey, my side is ready, and the court can be reopened at any time. Those bastards must be brought to justice. What? You said my injury? It's okay, it's just a few scratches. Xiao Lu is fine, right? As long as he is willing to continue testifying in court, none of those people can escape. Okay, then you can come to pick me up anytime. My location? I'm at Mr. Wayne's manor now, and I have some things to discuss. Okay, I'll wait for your notice. After Jennifer finished speaking the last sentence, she hung up the phone and turned around, motioning to the phone in her hand, talk about work a little bit. And I have to tell Harvey that I'm safe, but the people he sent didn't protect me, as if I feel a little guilty. Carla looked at Jennifer like this, stepped forward and embraced her in her arms. Jennifer felt strange, what's wrong? Carla shook her head and muttered, now I support you to remove the child, just before the child is formed, it is not considered to have murdered a life, it is only a month, and the damage to you is not too great. Then get a boyfriend, or I'll introduce Clark to you. She would rather cheat her younger brother. Jennifer couldn't laugh or cry. Dan and I both regard Clark as our younger brother. We used to play with him around when we were young. You let me and Clark be together? Don't be kidding. What's wrong with you? Don't you still want to be the child's godmother? Carla raised her head and looked at Jennifer, feeling worthless for her, that BD is still obsessed with Rachel, and even made promises or something, whether he is evil or not. Cassie, Jennifer thought what was wrong with her, but it turned out to be this. She couldn't help but smiled and reached out to help Carla fix a strand of messy hair, and said in a mature tone, Carla, I'm the latecomer, even if you want to despise me, I'm also a third party. At the restaurant, I had already seen that Miss Rachel was the only one he had in his eyes, so I planned to withdraw and let it go completely. So it doesn't matter. Jennifer didn't evade, let alone quibble, but clearly stated that she knew it. She knew that Bruce only had Miss Rachel in her heart, but she did it in the end because she's not reconciled. She needs to do that to let go. So I have been telling Mr. Wayne that I hope he will not have any psychological burden, and there is no need to be responsible to me. That is my choice, and don't you also say that I voted for him for nothing? So you are still thinking about it? What? Jennifer smiled at Carla. It was a relieved, relaxed, and calm smile, without any resentment or resentment. It turned out that she had thought everything through from the very beginning, and it was Carla who had been worrying that she hadn't let go. So, it seems that the Wayne family is going to lose this descendant. Afu's voice sounded behind the two of them. He didn't know how many times he heard it, and how long he came, carrying a tray with black tea and pastries in it. Afu's eyes were a little red. He had been at Wayne's house for a long time, and he also regarded Bruce as his own. Just imagine the disappointment of Grandpa who is about to hold his grandson but hoped for nothing, and you can know how disappointed he is. But it is definitely impossible for Jennifer to compromise, at least not for him. Afu also knows it well, and he heard the conversation between the two women just now. There is no right or wrong in this matter. In fact, Bruce is right, and Jennifer is also right. There is nothing wrong with one wishing to fight and the other wishing to suffer. Everyone is an adult. The only thing to criticize is the shitty things Bruce did. Miss Jennifer, I'm sorry. Afu still apologized to Jennifer for Bruce, and said, I used to think that Miss Carla is very suitable for synthesis as the mistress of the Wayne family, but now it seems that maybe Jennifer Miss is more suitable. Jennifer smiled and lifted Afu's shoulders. I don't have that kind of luck. She was not at all reluctant, and the smile on her face made Carla understand that she had completely returned to the state Carla had always been familiar with. The two of them raised their cups and touched each other tacitly. Carla said, Congratulations on being single again. Haven't I always been single? Jennifer muttered dissatisfied. Seeing the two of them like this, Afu could only sigh in his heart, Young master, both of them are rare women in the world, why didn't you get either? 81. Carla and Jennifer stayed at Wayne Manor until around noon when they got a call from Harvey, who was on his way. The general court time is mostly in the morning, which is to allow Jennifer to prepare in advance for the court session tomorrow or next week. More information about crimes is still stored in the serious crime team, and they will go there for investigation. When Carla was preparing to leave with Jennifer, Bruce followed them to the door, watching them wanting to keep them but not knowing what to say. Because Harvey was still on his way, Bruce tentatively asked, Why don't you stay and finish your lunch before leaving? I'll let Afu prepare. Afu also quickly said, I'm going to prepare now. Jennifer shook her head and declined his kindness with a smile, Mr. Wayne, we are already very disturbed, and you have a lot of things to do, Gotham City needs you now, so don't waste time on me, go help more people. There was a certain light in Jennifer's eyes. She already knew that Bruce was the Batman, and she couldn't help saying, maybe it's a little different from that Miss Rachel, I prefer the Dark Knight to this dude's mask. Brewston nodded, and when he wanted to say something again, Harvey's car had already entered from the outside. Jennifer, are you okay? Harvey was still concerned about Jennifer's physical condition when he came over. Jennifer was amused that everyone was starting to care about her. But she also understands that the only one who really cares about her is Carla, including Bruce for the unexpected new life in her belly. As for Harvey, he was even more innocent. He was worried about whether she would be competent for the next trial. Only Carla is the purest, just pure concern and care about her health. Jennifer took a deep breath, and her expression gradually became serious. She glanced at Harvey and nodded, "It's okay. Let's go." Just like that, Jennifer followed Harvey into his car without looking back. Master Green. Karla looked back at Bruce, snorted softly, and naturally followed Jennifer's footsteps quickly. Harvey, on the other hand, inevitably had to say a few words to Bruce, but Bruce's eyes kept following Jennifer's figure, and he obviously didn't hear what Harvey said. In the car, Karla and Jennifer sat in the back seat together. "Aren't you bringing your battlesuit?" Jennifer glanced at Karla and asked. Karla was a little speechless. "You don't have to be so excited to ask about this kind of thing." Jennifer stuck out her tongue and made a face. Although both of them are 30 years old, their cuteness skills have not regressed at all, and they are also damn cute. In fact, Jennifer is a little excited. She has been excited since the morning. After all, she was originally a fan of Batman and Oracle Man, and she didn't even know where to buy the merchandise. "By the way, don't you need to pay copyright fees for this peripheral?" Karla complained secretly in her heart. Should she collect money? So Jennifer has been chatting around the topic of Batman, as she said just now. If what Rachel promised was that Bruce would accept him after giving up his Batman identity, then Jennifer now prefers the superhero who is Batman Bruce. It's not the Bruce after putting on the mask. On the contrary, Jennifer thinks that the Bruce in the eyes of others is his mask. Should it be a woman's intuition? Or is it true love? Jennifer pointed directly to Bruce's heart. His unrestrained playboy appearance is indeed just an illusion, just to cover his figure under the night. No one doubts that the swinger dude will be the hero of justice fighting criminals at night. To say that she prefers Jennifer, what Rachel likes is Bruce's appearance, but what Jennifer loves is Bruce's heart and true face. Ever since Bruce put on the Batman battlesuit, he is no longer that idle and ignorant nobleman. After traveling all over the world and returning to Gotham City, he just wants to save this already decayed city. But Rachel wanted him to let go of Batman, but how could she know that Batman was Bruce's true face, that was his true self? There was once a comic in which Wonder Woman Diana tied herself, Superman and Batman with a lasso of truth, in this way to let each of them tell their true identities. Wonder Woman said her name was Diana. Superman is also not immune to the effect of the mantra lasso, so he has to reveal his true identity. His name is Clark, and the Kryptonian's name is Kal-El. Zero looking for flowers. But when it came to Batman, he said he was Batman. You asked him to give up his identity as Batman? Isn't it equivalent to asking Bruce to give up all of himself? Justice, the goals, ideals, and future he pursued. What was he working so hard for all these years? Just to torture himself and come back and be a swinger? Only Jennifer notices that Batman is Bruce's real body, but damn, she's in love with Batman again. He just got out of Bruce's pit, turned around and fell into it again. Jennifer turned and lay in Karla's arms as she left Wayne Manor. Karla sighed. There are only a few people in the world who can blatantly take advantage of her. Going to the hospital? Karla asked. Jennifer knew what she was talking about and just shook her head silently. Harvey thought that Jennifer's injury was still not healed, so he persuaded worriedly, there is no rush for work. If there is anything that has not been dealt with, it is best to go to the hospital. Karla patted Jennifer on the head. The hospital can't cure it, Harvey. If the heart is hurt, no one can heal it. It was only then that Harvey realized what was going on. He looked at the two women through the rearview mirror, and couldn't help but feel admiration and disdain for Mr. Wayne. What he admired was that there seemed to be no shortage of women around him, even such a good woman. The disdain is that he can't keep any woman, including such a good woman. Harvey secretly alerted himself in his heart, he would never be like Bruce, he would definitely cherish his girlfriend, that is, Rachel. Because Karla and Jennifer both had concerns and didn't want to talk, they were silent all the way. The car stopped in front of the serious crime unit of the police station. As a judge, Jennifer didn't need to check the case in person. If she met an ordinary judge, she would leave it to the prosecutor to do it herself. But Jennifer was different. After getting off the car, she adjusted her breathing and state, and immediately returned to the unselfish justice. Come on Harvey, let's find enough evidence to put those bastards in jail forever. 82. Jennifer began to re-enter the busy work, and Karla was always by her side, worrying about her relationship status and worrying that she was too tired. Even Karla was surprised that there were too many criminal records and materials, but before that, Gotham City had nothing to do with those gangsters. This is why Gotham City has always been called rotten to the root. If Carmine Falcone hadn't been attacked and arrested before, the previous Gotham City could be said to be dominated by gangsters. That Carmine was even arrogant and blatantly entertaining politicians in his restaurant. So, in fact, it's just after the autumn to settle accounts now, and none of the fish that slipped through the net before can't escape. That's why there is a lot of information. If the prosecution is successful, the longest person may be sentenced to hundreds of years in prison. Don't tell me, he still owes hundreds of years of punishment after all. A person's 890 life is limited after all. Carla is also very worried about Jennifer's state. Don't forget, you haven't removed the child yet. If you don't want to remove it, you should pay attention to rest. Jennifer froze all over, and then pretended she didn't hear Carla's words, but when she was thirsty, she silently replaced the coffee with water. As mentioned earlier, on the night Jennifer was attacked, the director of Gotham City was also attacked. That director was not as lucky and intuitive as Jennifer, and Joker succeeded in killing the director of Gotham City. Not to mention that his death gave Gordon a place. The chief was originally an upright and righteous man. His death is a loss for Gotham City. And the director has always been very popular. So the chief she planned to make an obituary and hold a parade ceremony for the chief this week. Therefore, the trial originally scheduled for this week may have to be postponed to next week. This is the conspiracy and plan of that lunatic, Carla guessed. It must be Joker's careful plan. He calculated that the chief would arrange a grand funeral for the chief, so he attacked the chief. As for the reason, it is also very simple. Joker is not alone, and he cannot complete his crazy plan alone. Don't forget that when Carla went to kill Joker before, he met dozens of his men. Not all of those people were recruited by Joker, almost all of them were people he borrowed from other mob bosses. In other words, Joker is now cooperating with those gang leaders, and he must protect those bosses, at least for the time being, so that he has enough manpower and financial resources to play games with Batman and Oracle. Joker is a lunatic, but he is by no means a fool. Even Carla has to follow his rhythm with his mind and IQ, and even Bruce has nothing to do with him. Carla has to admit, Joker is more difficult to deal with than the Shadow Warrior Alliance. The plan of the Shadow Warrior Alliance is not difficult to stop, but Joker is good at playing with people's hearts. He even wants to drive everyone crazy. He wants to bring everyone into the abyss. For this reason, at the expense of his own life, he does not think it is evil, but he is righteous. Carla also has a degree in psychology, criminal psychology, at least her knowledge can get a degree. So it's not hard to guess what Joker is thinking. Actually, Joker's goal is very simple. He wants to turn Bruce, he wants to turn Batman into the next Joker, and even me. Carla narrowed his eyes slightly. Joker's purpose is very dangerous and crazy. He is creating a laughter world. Manta is even laughing. Superman. Joker definitely doesn't know Carla's real identity, but Joker doesn't care. He just drags Bruce and Carla into the abyss, trades 1 for 2, sacrifices 1 Joker, but creates 2 new Jokers, and he wins. And his bargaining chip, or his reliance, is the real identity of everyone in Gotham City whom he kidnapped, as well as Carla and Bruce. After hearing Carla's analysis, Jennifer gritted her teeth tightly, saying that it was impossible not to worry about Carla, and it would be false to say that she didn't care about Bruce. So, as long as Harvey and I can send all those gangsters to prison in the shortest possible time, Joker will lose his helper, and you and Bruce can only target him alone. Jennifer reinvested in the adult among the piles of data. Although Jennifer already wanted to do her best to help Carla and Bruce. But Joker's plan was superior. On the same night, he caused another murder. 2 police officers were killed, one surnamed Harvey and the other surnamed Dante. Harvey Dent, he's the Joker's target again. Not only that, but a newspaper was found next to the bodies of the 2 police officers, with a picture of the mayor giving a speech. At that time, the police found that the newspaper had been graffitied by Joker. The picture of Chief Shi was graffitied to look like a Joker, and it was written in large black letters, if Chief Shi was killed in front of the citizens, what would happen? Ha 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 ha. That series of ha has the crazy style of Joker, and also makes people shudder. This BD not only wants to attack other people, but now he even has his eyes on Chief Shi. What made the atmosphere even more tense was that tomorrow would be a parade for the sacrificed chief, and it was impossible to change what had been decided. Even if the chief now knew that he was the next target, he had to announce the obituary as scheduled. If he was afraid of death, wouldn't it seem that the director's sacrifice was not worth it? And the more it is at this time, the more necessary it is for the people to see their courage and determination to fight Joker. If you back down at this time, you will lose everything. There is no need for Joker to do anything, and Gotham City is over. Therefore, the most terrifying thing about Joker is not his madness, but his mind and IQ. He is definitely one of the smartest people in the DC world. That night, Bruce called Carla and Jennifer separately. He called Carla first, and Carla didn't know how many times she was awakened from sleep by this BD, and she could guess what he wanted to say, so she directly pulled out the battery and threw the phone away, almost losing her strength throwing it out the window. In that case, she would definitely ask Bruce to buy herself a new mobile phone. Why, later, Bruce had no choice but to call Jennifer. 4.4 In fact, the two of them haven't slept yet. Why are they so worried? How can they still fall asleep after receiving such news just now? Jennifer looked at Carla helplessly, knowing that she definitely did it on purpose. But Jennifer didn't make up her mind to hang up, but picked it up. "Hi, Mr. Bruce, what's the matter?" Bruce on the other side felt sad at first. From the time when he was secretly loved by a girl who took the initiative to court him, to now he was called a distant address in a lukewarm way, and he always felt uncomfortable. But he did not forget the purpose of his call. "Jennifer, tomorrow's parade is very dangerous, I hope you don't go." Jennifer sighed, "Mr. Bruce, if I don't go tomorrow, I can resign." That's the director. Bruce was on the verge of telling her to just quit. 83. Joker has attacked many people, the most shocking of which is the police chief. The power of the entire Gotham City consists of several parts: the chief, the director, the chief judge, Jennifer, the chief prosecutor, Harvey, and some counselors. But the real power of those counselors is not great, and they are still subject to the restraint of the chief judge, Jennifer. In other words, the director can be regarded as the power giant in Gotham City, and now he is dead, and died in the attack of Joker. For this reason, the chief she decided to hold a parade for the sacrifice of the chief, and personally issued an obituary. This is also to motivate the citizens and let the people see the determination of the government. They will never bow to the Joker and those gangsters, and they will definitely defeat the enemy. But there are huge hidden dangers hidden in this activity. Both Bruce and Gordon know that not only Harvey has become the Joker's target again, Joker even wants to attack the mayor, and his plan must be related to this parade. Even Jennifer. Harvey had already been attacked once, and so had Jennifer, and both 20s were much luckier than the chief. Now that Harvey is being targeted again, maybe Jennifer will be attacked again. Bruce had called Jennifer overnight last night to persuade her not to participate in the parade. But Jennifer, as the chief judge, if she is absent for no reason, then don't do it next time, just resign. Even if the Chief Justice doesn't blame her, people in Gotham City will no longer trust the new female Chief Justice. So Jennifer declined Bruce's kindness and decided to participate in tomorrow's event. Bruce hung up the phone. Alfred came to Bruce's side mysteriously, and handed him a wet towel and a glass of water. Bruce just came back from the outside. He just went to check the newly discovered murder scene and then called Jennifer immediately. "Master, I'm not talking about you, I think you're a bit too much." Even Afu couldn't stand it anymore. "If you really like Miss Jennifer, then go for it bravely, but you have to let go of Rachel first. It's about Miss Rachel. If you still miss Miss Rachel, then don't hesitate to pursue Miss Rachel, it's not fair to the two girls you are doing now." Bruce glanced at Alfred, he definitely wanted to pursue Rachel. "But Afu, Rachel said that he would not be with me until I decided not to be Batman anymore." Bruce reminded Afu that Rachel had promised him that. Afu wanted to complain, and then she switched to someone else's arms? "This stupid young master, you are the only one who is in place, and he is already 800 meters away." But Afu couldn't say anything, let alone say that. He just pretended to mutter, and muttered in a voice that Bruce deliberately heard, "Are you really planning to give up Batman? Then the days you worked hard for it, what is the purpose of the year? Just to attract Miss Rachel's attention as Batman, and then give up Batman's career for her?" Bruce just pretended not to hear, but even his eyes showed a trace of blankness. The next morning, Jennifer's home. "Carla, don't you plan to wear that outfit to accompany me to the parade? Please." Jennifer's voice was a little crazy. She looked at Carla innocently wearing her usual, full of informal style clothes, inevitably a black line. To say she's informal would be a compliment, just her jeans, sneakers and casual shirt. "Wait, is that my shirt?" Jennifer shook her head with her hands on her forehead. "Even if you go to an ordinary Western restaurant, you will be kicked out. Carla didn't care. I'm not the protagonist, I just need to find a place to stay, and it's enough to ensure that you don't get attacked. I'm not the target, at least I haven't found any clues that I'm Joker's next target, right? Also, put me in this suit. Jennifer had to open her closet to find a white dress skirt, a matching pair of exquisite high heels, a pure white pearl necklace, and a designer bag. Carla glanced at Jennifer. The latter shrugged, don't think I received money, but some people did give it to me. Don't use that kind of look, do you think politicians are not stars? We will also attend various parties, so those merchants will also give us something to show us wearing their products as an advertisement. Is it okay? But think about the party Bruce held for Harvey, and the politicians of a certain country will cooperate with various consortiums, especially the president. There will be many large corporate activities behind each president. There is no need to say more about this kind of thing. In short, Jennifer's famous brands and luxury goods are obviously not paid by her, let alone wasted her own money, but are similar to celebrity endorsements, and are given by various businessmen on their own initiative. In this case, Carla is relieved. As for wearing this kind of dress, she actually doesn't resist it. The reason why she always dresses like that on weekdays is entirely because of convenience, simplicity, and comfort. How dare you sit on the grass in this dress? How dare you lie in the back of your adoptive father's pickup truck? How dare you let the family dog pounce on you? No kidding, she's not willing to spend thousands of dollars maintaining a dress. With Jennifer's help, Carla finally changed into the white dress. It was a gown with an open back, and Carla glared at Jennifer, who was holding her corset, and neither of them would back down. Damn, the most prominent part of this dress is your white and beautiful back. Okay, do you still want to wear this thing? Jennifer almost jumped up, only thinking that Carla was unreasonable. Carla also thinks she is unreasonable, then you want me to vacuum up? Even if you are a friend, I will fight hard with you. Hurry up and give me 633. My hair is so long and my back will not be seen by others. Besides, you didn't pay attention, my back is kind of scary. It's not that Carla is boasting, she has experienced years of exercise, and her back is more terrifying than that of ordinary men, but it doesn't look very conspicuous on weekdays. But now when I put on this dress, it immediately shows up. Jennifer was also stunned, and reached out to touch Carla's back. The murderer was full of muscles as hard as steel. You are already a man of steel. Jennifer was dumbfounded. She didn't expect what she said. Carla is really a man of steel. Carla shrugged, took back the dress that Jennifer had snatched just now, and put it on inside, and covered the back with her long golden hair, so that this dress turned into a very ordinary looking and very conservative dress up. Carla put on those high heels again. She has the same feet and figure as Jennifer and Danny, but she is a little taller, so it's no problem for them to change clothes. However, Carla looked down at the heels, which were definitely not short even if they could not be called heavenly tall, and looked helplessly at Jennifer, who was suddenly half head short again. Jennifer curled her lips, it's nothing, why are you so tall? Carla was originally 1.9 meters, but now it seems that she is already 1.95 meters. No wonder she likes to wear flat shoes on weekdays. This comes from her own self-confidence. 84. No one came to pick up the two beautiful ladies today because they have their own cars. Although Carla's car was blown up when Jennifer was attacked, don't forget that Carla drove Jennifer's car over. You absolutely have to compensate me, Carla complained as she started the car, I haven't paid off my car loan yet. Damn, no one said they want to reimburse me? The insurance company won't come out and take care of it. Jennifer looked sideways at Carla helplessly, her life was in danger at the time. Sister, can you stop caring about your car? Carla started the car and rushed towards the venue. The parade started at 8 o'clock in the morning, on a section of a main street, from one end to the other, and there were 10 pre-arranged podiums at the end. Those who participated in the parade were all police officers from the police station, and some citizens also came to participate in the parade spontaneously. When Carla and Jennifer arrived at the venue, many people on the podium had already arrived. Harvey brought Rachel over to greet the two of them, and took them to the podium to find a place to sit down. The person who made the obituary must be Mr. Shi Chong, and the others are just here to show their faces. Even if it's just a formality, it must be done again, otherwise the sacrifice of the director is too pitiful. Have you made any arrangements? Jennifer approached Harvey and asked with concern. Now that it is known in advance that Chief Shi will become Joker's next target, some arrangements must be made, and it is impossible to do nothing. Harvey nodded. There are snipers in the nearby upstairs and in the box. If Joker dares to show up, or if there is any accident, he can be killed immediately. When Harvey spoke, he gritted his teeth, obviously hating the Joker who suddenly jumped out to make trouble. That's right, with the cooperation of the Chief Prosecutor, Jennifer, the Chief Justice, and the Chief, Sheriff, and Chief Shi, they are about to bring order to Gotham City with the dawn of justice. As a result, it was delayed to convict those gangsters because of Joker's disruption. In addition, many people have died since Joker appeared, so as a man of justice, he naturally cannot remain indifferent. After Carla heard the conversation between the two, she turned her head and inspected the surroundings with supervision, and sure enough, she saw snipers in some hidden places. At the same time, she also discovered an unexpected person, Bruce, who was also acting. At this moment, on the street in the distance, all the police officers who participated in the parade had come close. Gordon also participated in the parade as the sheriff. He is the sheriff, not the director. The director is the chief boss, and the sheriff is also responsible to the director. After Gordon walked around, he looked at the surrounding windows, worried that Joker might be hidden there. Unfortunately, he found nothing. In fact, Joker is actually hiding in the crowd, even in a location that people can't guess. Even Carla didn't find Joker. The reason is that Joker is no longer that crazy look, but has wiped off the mask on his face, and sprinkled it in the distance with the appearance of an ordinary person, even a little master. This keeps Carla from noticing him. When the parade was over, the head of the department also stepped onto the podium and began to publish his obituary to the head of the bureau. He is a man of integrity. When I invited him to be the director, the only request he said to me was that he should not be involved in political matters. He only wanted to do his job well, which was to protect the citizens and the city. The chief she began to make a speech. But the few people behind him did not dare to relax, and Harvey also asked Gordon, "Is there anything missing?" Gordon said, "I looked at almost every window during the parade, but there are too many windows here." In fact, Carla also scanned all the windows and rooms around her. She will not let the mistakes she made in the hospital happen again. Carla can guarantee that there is nothing suspicious about the nearby windows. Joker has not arranged for a killer, and she has not even found Joker's figure. Carla has also turned on super hearing. She has memorized Joker's voice, and once Joker utters even half a syllable, she can immediately lock on it. But no, it can be said that there is no shadow of Joker within 100 meters. Could it be that he is afraid? He also dare not act recklessly in such an environment? Or did he have some last move? Instead of doing it here at the meeting place, he planned to plant a killer move in the chief's office? Thinking about it, Carla subconsciously used supervision to observe the chief's office. At the moment, as the chief finished his obituary speech, a police officer in charge of the gun-firing honor guard shouted, "Shoot, let go." The first batch of the first rounds were fired. Carla subconsciously turned her gaze back, and set her eyes on the guards of honor, with a surprised expression on her face. She heard slight differences. Normally, this way of shooting off, especially in this environment, uses blank ammunition. Blank bullets refer to bullets with only shell casings, a small amount of gunpowder, and a primer. They are usually used for training and exercises. Although they have certain lethality at close range, but they are not fatal. But blank bullets and solid bullets are different. Carla once had the opportunity to play with guns. Don't look at her like this. She has traveled all over the world. It is inevitable that she will encounter various things, such as entering areas where war is still taking place. Just then, the second batch of second shots fired. In a series of gunshots, Carla noticed that there was one gun, and only one of them was live ammunition. Carla subconsciously looked at the man. Damn it, Joker? Carla finally found out that Joker has been here since the beginning. He wiped off all the colorful things on his face, and he revealed his true colors. He was even earlier than Carla and Jennifer. Has been lurking here. The most dangerous place is precisely the safest place, and the safest place is also precisely the deadliest place. This is not a nesting doll, this is the most dangerous place for Joker, but, Jian Wang's, is also the safest place because no one would guess that he will be here. And for the chief, this is the safest place, and almost all the police officers in the city are here. But it is precisely because of this that once Joker breaks in and launches an attack, it will be the deadliest. Carla had no time to act. She noticed that Joker was smiling smugly at herself. Before the third shot was about to start, without waiting for the leader to give orders, all of a sudden, the whole firing team turned their guns and aimed at the podium the Shilong. Damn Joker, the whole firing squad is actually his men? Carla could only turn around and hug Jennifer subconsciously, blocking the direction of those gunpoints with her back. P.S. I am used to posting explosive updates, but now it seems that there can only be one chapter per hour, those things that are updated. I am so annoying. If you have the strength, save the manuscript, tomorrow, continue exploding the 24th chapter. Okay. 85. It is by no means that Carla is played around by Joker again and again. Although Joker is indeed a criminal with a high IQ, Carla is by no means stupid, and even guesses a little bit about what Joker really wants to do. However, Joker's madness is something Carla never expected. Who would have thought Joker would show his true colors on such an occasion? He actually risked himself in order to complete the plan to assassinate the chief. He was really crazy to the point that even Carla didn't expect it. It's not that Carla couldn't rush in front of Joker immediately, but she couldn't expose herself any further. Clark wasn't ready yet. Both she and her adoptive father Jonathan knew that Clark was far from ready to appear in front of the world. Carla had to be selfish, so she only had time to hug Jennifer and use her back as her shield. But if this is the case, what will Chief she do? A person rushed out. It was Gordon. It turned out that he also noticed the abnormality of a gun during the second shot, so he threw down the chief who hadn't reacted at all. But Gordon was shot in the back. This sudden change suddenly made the scene chaotic. There were many people around who spontaneously came to see the director off, including those police officers who participated in the parade because they were not equipped with guns, so they were all in chaos. Among them, the capable police officer 023 began to hunt down those members of the firing squad. The entire firing squad was Joker's people. No wonder no one discovered the existence of Joker. Moreover, when attacking the chief, the firing team all turned their guns and pointed them in the direction of the chief and the podium. Now everyone knows that the shooting team is Joker's people. God knows how he got in there. Etc. Carla turned her head, looking in a certain direction. In one of the rooms over there, Bruce has now arrived, and in his place are bound together a number of men who were the original firing squad. Damn, she was still careless after all. Carla was only focused on looking for Joker, but ignored the scene here. Carla gritted her teeth. She was played by Joker again. Carla. Suddenly, Jennifer in her arms pushed Carla away, raised her head, and looked at Carla seriously. Go and catch him. Carla looks worried. But Jennifer continued firmly, this is the best chance, don't let him go. Sergeant Gordon is still alive and dead, and he must pay the price. Even Jane, Cabby, Nefer was PD off. Carla saw her like this for the first time. Nodding, Carla told Jennifer to be careful, then turned around and jumped off the podium resolutely. Note that Carla from at the moment is still wearing high heels, but she just ran without caring. It's not that Carla can't wear it, nor is it that she's not used to it, but she's just too lazy to wear it. Even though the heel may be as high as 50 centimeters, she can quickly run in the direction Joker left. Carla has locked Joker. This time, she will not let him go. It has to be said that Joker's escape method is very clever, and many people around him didn't notice him, and they saw that Joker was about to flee into an alley and disappear. But Carla followed up in time. The footsteps of Clack came from far to near. Before Joker could look back, he felt an irresistible force of gravity coming to his back, and then he was stepped on the ground up. You can't kill me, Oda suddenly said. Carla sneered, why can't I kill you? Is there anything else you can threaten me this time? No, not at all, revealing my identity? I will gag everyone's mouths. Don't you care about that, Lady Judge? But Joker said something that surprised Carla. Carla subconsciously turned her head and looked back, but she couldn't find Jennifer. It wasn't until she turned on supervision that she realized that Jennifer was leaving here under the escort of a police officer. Carla was about to breathe a sigh of relief. But Joker said again, how do you think I know the identity of the firing team members? How do you think I got in? Do you feel at ease? No, that's my man. Carla stepped a little harder, and the high heel pierced Joker's back instantly like a sharp bayonet. But Joker didn't take it seriously at all, and laughed wildly, she is your weakness. Once the masked hero's identity is exposed, she will be controlled by others everywhere. You can only blame yourself for being too careless. And it's broad daylight, you are not wearing a battle suit, how are you going to save people? Do you even dare to kill me in front of so many people? Don't be kidding, your threats are not scary at all. Karla hated her teeth, but she had to admit that Joker touched her sore spot. Can she fly in front of so many people? Can she show the power of Superman? Or even kill Joker with her own hands? This BD is completely reckless. Are you trying to drive me crazy? If you really intend to do it, I will show you the real horror. Karla lowered her head and did not use a voice changer, but her voice was full of the direct and most undisguised killing intent. But Joker continued to laugh. Driving you crazy? Ha ha ha, I'm not that boring. In fact, you have never been my target. No, after meeting you, I realized that I don't need to do anything to you at all. Karla frowned. What do you mean? I always thought you and Batman were on the same side, but you should be on my side. Justice? Order? Do you really think those boring things make sense? You want to kill me so much, and you know how to kill me. It is the most correct choice to kill me, but you have not done it for a long time. But what restricts you is not something like morality or law, just because you can't do it. Karla Kent, if instead of the boring bat mask you wore, you were wearing a Joker mask, how would you be any different from me? Joker's words were like a heavy hammer, smashing deeply into Karla's heart. Even Karla took a step back unconsciously, allowing Joker to get up from the ground. He touched his back indifferently, and shrugged his shoulders as if it didn't hurt at all even though he got a blood stain. As for Karla, her expression was in a trance for a while, because what Joker said was right, she doesn't actually belong to order, she should belong to chaos, if there are really two camps. Isn't this also the reason for the conflict between Karla and Bruce's ideas? She believes that Lars has endangered the lives of tens of millions of people in Gotham City. Killing Lars can save those people and eliminate the troubles forever. And Bruce believes that after he and Lars's conspiracy are stopped, Lars should be arrested and brought to trial by Gotham City. One is the idea of order following morality and law, and the other is the idea of complete chaos. 86. Joker escaped from Karla's hands again, and even Karla didn't know when he left. Until a ringtone brought Karla back from the trance to reality. Karla? Did you catch him? It was Jennifer. The reason why Karla let Joker go is because of her. Joker will let Jennifer go only if Joker is let go. Jane, where are you? Karla asked. Jennifer replied, I'm in my office. What's wrong with you? As expected of being a good friend for many years, Jennifer immediately heard that there was something wrong with Karla's tone. Karla didn't say that Jennifer almost fell into Joker's trap just now. In fact, before the person who escorted Jennifer did it, Karla was actually not sure if that person was Joker's person. But Karla didn't dare to bet, and Joker was sure she didn't dare to bet. Karla is not Joker after all, she is not as crazy as Joker. Karla has someone she cares about, she dare not gamble with Jennifer's safety. Karla didn't say much, and just told Jennifer to stay there and wait for her to pass. When Karla turned around and returned to the previous street, there was only a mess around, but the chaotic crowd had dispersed. After finding Jennifer's car, Karla drove to Jennifer's office and hugged Jennifer as soon as she entered. Jennifer was a little dazed, but also felt that Karla seemed to have been hit. What's the matter? Why did you suddenly act like you were scolded by Jonathan Uncle when you were a child? Jennifer asked in as relaxed a tone as possible. She had rarely seen Karla like this, all her life. What happened? If it's just that you didn't catch Joker, it doesn't have to be that way. After all, you didn't even catch Batman, right? Jennifer already knew that Bruce was Batman, so when she mentioned the idol again, she felt a little uncomfortable. Be polite. Faced with Jennifer's efforts to appease, Karla shook her head. It had nothing to do with whether or not Joker could be caught, but his words had a great impact on Karla. Jen, do you think I look like Joker? Karla asked Jennifer. Jennifer was startled, how could she have such an idea? What did he say? Jennifer's expression gradually became serious. She was worried about Karla's mental state. Could it be that she was infected by that lunatic? I've only heard that idiots can be contagious, but I haven't heard that gangsters can. Infectious. Karla repeated what Joker said just now, and smiled wryly again. I even began to feel that he seemed to be right. I did rely on a little power to start naturally, self-righteously feel that I can transcend all laws on. But it's not normal, and we all know it's twisted. Jennifer is a justice herself, and she was the Attorney General of the metropolis before. Faced with Karla's self-doubt, she actually recognized it in her heart. You still know? Dolly girl. But at this time, she definitely didn't dare to hit Karla again, but stretched out her hand to hold Karla's cheek, and said seriously, who doesn't want to be righteous when it is not a last resort? Karla was startled. How dare he call us Karla as crazy as he is? I really want to smack him. You didn't kill people for no reason, did you? You didn't want to destroy a city just because it was so peaceful and beautiful. Karla, don't get distracted by what he says. He's a murderer, he's killing people for no reason. You see what he's been doing lately, he doesn't even have a purpose. He's like a guy who doesn't want money, power, women, fame, and fortune, not for anything, just want to see the world into flames, just want to see the abyss in hell. What about you? You are here to protect innocent people. You are here to protect those who will not harm others. Although your methods are sometimes a bit excessive, one is for justice, and the other is to create chaos and cultivate evil. How dare you call you a lunatic like him? Do you remember that drunk man? I was afraid for a while back then, and even felt unnatural in the first few days, and didn't even know how to face you, because I knew that you killed that drunk man, know somebody with a bat mask. Bruce has absolutely no idea you got him blamed years ago. That was several years ago, see chapter 11 for details. Jennifer looked into Karla's eyes seriously, and said sincerely, but when I think about it later, I was afraid for a while, if the man's gun hadn't missed. Later it was reported that the drunk man had missed the shot. After all, he didn't find the bullet, or he didn't dare to miss it, believe it, but hit you or me, and I dare not think about what will happen in the future. We are not pure perpetrators, Karla, we did not hurt others without reason or with malice, we are just doing everything possible to protect others. So you don't have to have any psychological burden. If you still can't let go, then in my capacity as Chief Justice, I acquit you. Zero looking for flowers. Karla looked at Jennifer, her mind gradually calmed down, she smiled and stretched her arms around Jennifer's waist, buried her head on her shoulder, and muttered, it's a pity that I'm not a man, if I don't let you, I will never give you up to others. Jennifer just smiled and pushed her away, okay, stop making trouble, if someone sees it, bad rumors will spread. They are just friends, not the kind of relationship that crosses the line, including Karla, who is also a normal girl and will never come out of the closet. The reason why Karla has never wanted to fall in love or find a boyfriend is also very simple. She is at ease by herself, not to mention that she has secrets of one kind or another, and it would be too troublesome if there are more people by her side. What's more, even Bruce can't catch her eyes, and Superman is her younger brother. How many people in the world can Karla favor? Zero. After Jennifer tried to persuade her with good words, Karla finally stopped digging into the dead end. In fact, many people can't think about it for a while. Simply put, the authorities are confused and the bystanders are clear. Joker's words have dealt a blow to Karla, but Joker is suspected of confusing the public and changing concepts, or the facts. Joker deliberately ignores the difference between him and Karla. Although Karla kills, she kills all bad people. What Karla pursues is to kill a bad person and save more good people. And what about Joker? He kills all good people, can it be the same? Even if Karla puts on the mask of Joker, her actions are still different from Joker. After all, Karla aims to become a superhero. Even if she is above the law, she will restrain herself with morality. Karla has not completely lost her morality, she is fundamentally different from Oda. Damn Joker, almost got fooled by him. Karla clenched her fist, never let him run away next time. Jennifer poured cold water, you have already said it, but you still let him run away. Karla is discouraged, who is it because of? The next time you dare to ride in someone else's car, I will file a complaint with Bruce, and Karla will fight back. Jennifer couldn't laugh or cry, why did you sue him? Also, I just sat in the car of Gordon's police officers. Karla stopped joking and warned Jennifer, the situation is getting more and more unclear now. How do you think Joker got into the shooting team? I suspect that someone under Gordon and Harvey was bribed, or from the beginning there are gang undercover workers. 87. Although Karla managed to escape Joker from her own hands again that day, she was even almost shattered by Joker. She can go head to head with Bruce, and the reason why she lost to Joker's mouthpiece is that her code of conduct can be counted in the chaotic camp in a certain way. But Karla has Jennifer, and the Chief Justice of Gotham City has acquitted Karla, so definitely not guilty. Is she covered by someone? However, in the evening of the same day, there was a piece of good news. It turned out that in the chaos of the day, in addition to Karla chasing Joker himself, Harvey also captured one of Joker's men. The reason why the news did not come out until the evening was because Harvey desperately wanted to find out about the Joker, even at the expense of lynching. It was only when Bruce arrived that he stopped. Bruce definitely showed up as Batman 213 and brought bad news. Joker is not only going against Harvey now, but also his other target is Rachel. Now that Bruce is Batman, and Rachel is Harvey's girlfriend on the surface, Joker will not let her go in any way. It also hit Bruce. That's right, after Karla, Bruce was hit by Joker as well. He planned to surrender himself, and he wanted to admit to everyone that he was Batman. Since he insists on making me turn myself in, then I will admit defeat, and no one will die because of this boring game, Bruce said to Karla on the phone. This time, because it was still early, Karla saved face and didn't hang up Bruce's call again. Karla glanced at Jennifer, who was busy preparing dinner in the kitchen, turned around and walked to the balcony, and asked Bruce, "Are you sure you didn't make this choice because you want to sleep with that woman?" Bruce on the opposite side was silent. Karla sneered, "Okay, I get it, since this is your choice, then do whatever you want, but don't reveal my identity. Joker doesn't dare to reveal it yet. If he doesn't have this trump card, next time he will be killed by me. So don't expose it." The reason why Karla cooperates with Joker's game is because Joker has this handle. Karla had already thought of a solution during the day, but she was threatened again at that time, and her spirit was hit, so she didn't have time to make a move. But Karla has already thought of how to deal with this threat, and Joker wants to threaten her with this matter for the rest of her life? How could she always submit, and she has already thought of a solution? It's just that since Bruce already had his own idea, Karla didn't say anything more. "Karla, you can come over for dinner," Jennifer's voice came from the kitchen at this moment. Karla agreed, and said to the phone, "Goodbye Bruce, and I wish you happiness. I hope." Then she hung up the phone. And that goodbye has both a superficial meaning and a meaning of seeing you again. If Bruce exposes his identity, then in order for Karla to continue to protect his identity information, the two are doomed not to act together again. Maybe she can't even be a friend on the surface, and she won't take the risk of contacting Bruce, let alone meeting him. Maybe they will completely become people from two worlds. And Jennifer, Karla will persuade her to return to the metropolis after this matter is over, no matter whether Jennifer wants this child or not, since Bruce chose Rachel, it will be over completely. That's all for now. After solving the Joker, they will say goodbye to Gotham City. Whose call? Jennifer couldn't help asking when she saw that Karla hung up the phone and stayed there for a while. Karla responded casually, "A sales call, I sold some interesting things, I wonder if I want to buy something." "What?" "Well, it's not easy to say." Jennifer almost spit out a mouthful of water. Karla didn't care about Bruce's affairs anymore, no matter whether Rachel hid at his house, no matter what happened to Joker's men later, and no matter what Bruce planned to do tomorrow. She began to decide to ignore Bruce completely, but to concentrate on accompanying Jennifer, as long as her personal safety was well protected. When going to rest at night, Karla naturally wore Jennifer's pajamas. She came in a hurry this time, so she originally didn't bring anything, and she was even worried about whether all the windows at home were closed when she left. Fortunately, the weather in the metropolis was fine during this time, without rain, so as long as it was not patronized by thieves, it would be fine. Definitely in the end, she asked Danny to take care of herself, and help clean the room by the way. Danny has nothing to do with her. If Karla and Jennifer hadn't tried their best to stop her, Danny would even have planned to chase Gotham City to live for a few days. It's messy enough here. Karla doesn't want to give Joker another hostage who can threaten her at any time. The next day, Harvey called Jennifer, and it was said that he would hold a press conference on Gordon's murder and Joker disrupting the parade. It is also necessary to give an explanation to the outside world. At the same time, Harvey also revealed in advance that Batman would surrender at the reception. This immediately caused a sensation. Some people said that Batman still succumbed to the threat of Joker, and some people said that Batman was compromising in order to protect more people from being harmed. In short, not only Joker, not only the people of Gotham City, but people all over the world are now focusing on today's press conference. The reason why Harvey told Jennifer was actually just to say hello, and did not invite her to attend, and even warned Jennifer not to show up. Jennifer accepted Harvey's kindness and planned to stay at home honestly on this day. Even Carla didn't plan to go out. After washing up, they didn't even bother to change their pajamas. They sat on the sofa leaning on their shoulders, turned on the TV, and planned to spend the day leisurely like this. Speaking of which, there are spare toiletries at Jennifer's house, which are specially prepared for Carla and Danny, so as not to have to mix them up when they come to visit unexpectedly. They themselves don't mind abandoning each other in 4.1, but the toiletries don't cost much, so it's okay to have an extra set. Only clothes. Carla has been wearing Jennifer's clothes for the last 2 days. Carla's car has been backed by Jennifer, so it's not too much to wear a few clothes. Later, at the point when Harvey had a mouthful, Jennifer switched the TV show to his press conference. Carla glanced at Jennifer and didn't speak, but groaned coldly in her heart, still can't let go? Was it a concern about what would happen if Bruce revealed that he was Batman in front of so many people? But her worries were obviously unnecessary, because Harvey suddenly said that he was Batman, which stunned everyone. Even Jennifer turned and threw her hands at Carla. Carla glanced at Jennifer, "Can I still lie to you? Bruce is indeed Batman, maybe they have some plan." 88. Carla guessed right, Bruce and Harvey did have their plans, because then Bruce called Carla. Harvey was trying to use him to lure Joker, Bruce said of their plan, "And let me catch Joker." Joker knows your identity, Bruce. Even if Harvey can really draw out Joker, it's because he was originally Joker's target, and he's in danger, Carla reminded Bruce. Don't forget that it's because of Bruce that Carla's identity was captured by Joker. Guess what? Bruce obviously knows this too, so he turns to Carla for help. "So I need your help." "Impossible, Bruce, you know it's impossible," Carla ruthlessly refused, "because you can't let me kill Joker, so I won't go." "He needs to be punished," Bruce yelled. But his so-called punishment is not what Carla wants to see. Carla obviously won't let Joker live, but Bruce's so-called trial is nothing more than putting Joker in prison. That 20 is too simple, too easy, and endless troubles. So they can't negotiate. I hung up on Bruce. Carla was about to put the phone away. Bruce couldn't help but said, "Carla, you can't give up Harvey for personal reasons." Carla paused, and then said, "Bruce, Harvey's life is fate, and so is Jane's life. Joker has targeted her more than once, Bruce, including yesterday I caught Joker, but he once again threatened her through Jane. Me, I can't let her be in danger anymore, at least Harvey has you to protect. If I leave, what will Jane do? Selfish. Well enough. If you have to talk about selfishness, who is it that is selfish? Bruce," Carla sneered, and snapped the flip phone closed to give Bruce another chance to speak. Turning her head, Carla saw Jennifer behind her, holding 2 boxes of ice cream in her hand, and asked, "Do you want to eat?" Carla walked over quickly and snatched both boxes. "It's not suitable for you to eat 2 cold things now. When did you become a doctor?" Jennifer felt amused, and said again, "So you let Joker go because of me?" "I'm so sorry." Carla shrugged, reassuring her not to think too much. "Bruce will take care of it." "What if not? Then let him die." "Carla. I'm just kidding, don't worry, Batman will take care of it," Carla fooled, and walked aside with 2 boxes of ice cream to enjoy alone. Jennifer had no choice but to sit aside and look at Carla helplessly. She was obviously not asking for a box of ice cream that should have been her own, but that Carla would come out. Soon, Carla sighed and handed the half-eaten ice cream to Jennifer, and while sending another unopened box of ice cream back to the refrigerator, she took out her phone. "Afu, bring me the equipment." It turned out that she was calling Afu. Afu was also unambiguous, "Miss Carla, I'm already downstairs. I'll go up now." Carla raised her eyebrows. It seems that Bruce is determined and she won't refuse, will she? It's really annoying, not for anything else. Carla is angry for Jennifer. Turning around and seeing Jennifer happily eating the remaining half box of ice cream, Carla became angry and warned, "Don't eat too much, my son hasn't formed yet. Anyway, she is a godmother." Jennifer reached out and rubbed her belly. "How are you sure it's your son?" Carla shrugged, instinctively. She wouldn't say that one night she dreamed that there was a brat and his BD dad who had been arguing with her, and that kid's name was Damian Wayne. Carla's dream is obviously a precognitive dream, not an ordinary fantasy. And that brat called her mommy one by one, it must be Jennifer's son who didn't run away. That's why Carla has been trying to appease Jennifer not to really kill the child before, and at the beginning she wanted to help Bruce match the two. But now, let that scumbag die for me. Because of dissatisfaction with Bruce, Carla was still not in a good mood when Afu sent the equipment up. Hiding in the bedroom, Carla put on the silver grey Oracle battle suit again. "Miss Carla, your chariot is ready downstairs," said Afu, who had come driving Carla's silver grey chariot, so she could set off directly. Carla snorted softly, but the corners of her mouth couldn't stop rising. She wanted to take that chariot for a long time. "Afu, Jane will leave it to you," Carla told Afu before leaving, and now only Afu can believe it. That being said, before leaving, Carla seemed to have thought of something and asked again, "I heard that Miss Rachel went to hide in the manor, right? What will she do when you come out?" As a result, Afu said, "Miss Rachel has already left, so please rest assured, I will definitely do my best to give up this old life, and I will also protect Miss Jennifer and the little Master Wayne in her belly." Jennifer muttered, "Just saying that I don't know if it's a man or a woman, right? Wait, why Wayne? It's her kid." But neither Carla nor Afu asked her what she meant. Carla flicked the silver grey robe and cloak, turned around and left in a smart way. As I said before, don't underestimate Afu. At least in this world, Afu seems to have a background in special forces, and has even participated in many battles. Not only does he know a lot about various weapons and equipment, he even has good fighting skills, it's just that it doesn't show mountains or leak water on weekdays. Even when Bruce was acting as Batman, most of the injuries he suffered were Afu's help to deal with 787. Looking at Carla again, she quickly came downstairs, and she saw an exaggerated and cool chariot on the street. She is dressed in silver grey, not arrogant at all, but low-key and introverted, just like the moon in the dark night, not dazzling, but not to be ignored. Many people gathered around because of this, and some took out their mobile phones to take pictures. Carla walked over, stepped on the front of the car, and turned to look at those people. "Haven't you seen it?" As a result, everyone shook their heads. Carla laughed, "Then take a picture for my mother." The car is low-key and restrained, but it can't stand the owner's arrogance and domineering. And when he came up, he stepped on the front of the car. If the car could talk, it would probably cry. If he had encountered an Autobot like Bumblebee, he would have thrown her aside long ago. After showing off for a while, Carla opened the car door and sat in. She glanced at the complicated console. She had seen the Batmobile before and knew the general operating system, so she confidently raised her hand to operate it. Suddenly, a warning sound sounded from the car, and only a female voice said, "Goodbye." An intact car exploded in the street with a bang. Carla was dumbfounded, and rushed out of the ruins on a motorcycle. What happened? Why did the four wheels become two wheels? Those onlookers were also dumbfounded, and Spider-Woman was too irritable. "Such a good car," said it was blown up. 89. Carla operated like a tiger, but somehow activated the self-destruct system of the tank, then abandoned a better tank and replaced it with a locomotive and set off. Afu and Jennifer upstairs obviously also heard the movement downstairs. Jennifer stood in front of the windowsill, holding the ice cream in her hand that she was not willing to finish in one breath, looking at the silver grey Kyun-Li disappearing in the distance. The figure turned to look at Afu. Afu muttered, "Did I forget to tell her that this is the latest tank?" It turns out that the latest device has been activated on the current battlefield, which is to install a spare locomotive in the chariot system. Once the chariot is seriously damaged, it can be replaced with a locomotive to continue operations to maintain mobility. But in order to prevent the chariot from being recycled by others, once the locomotive is started, it will self-destruct. Carla did know the mode of operation of the tank, but she knew the old model, and accidentally started the locomotive, and the tank was destroyed. When she found Bruce's whereabouts and joined him, Bruce looked at Carla in surprise. "Have you been attacked?" Carla was embarrassed to say that it was caused by her own operation error, and nodded vaguely, "Ah. What about that? Where is Harvey?" Bruce didn't ask any more questions, and said, "It's inconvenient to come out now. Harvey will draw Joker out first, and then we will go out. That is to say, it is not yet time for the protagonist to appear on the stage." Carla stood up straight from the locomotive, and expressed her opinion on the locomotive again. This kind of locomotive is not an ordinary motorcycle. In order to maintain the highest speed and for safety reasons, in short, the tripod of the body is set at the back, and even Carla has to lie on the body. This is very tiring. In fact, it is not as comfortable as ordinary locomotives. And this will make your hands unable to exert strength, as if you have been doing push-ups, holding the handlebars with both hands to support your upper body, and you will be very tired after a long time. But there is no way. After all, this locomotive was originally hidden in the chariot system. It is not easy to hide a locomotive in the car. It is impossible to prepare a pair of tripods under the chariot, right? According to Carla, it's better to prepare a cooler locomotive in a separate sports car for me. Bruce thought it would be much cheaper. If he had known it would be so easy to dismiss Carla, he might as well have fooled her with old tanks and old locomotives. Why on earth did he prepare the latest chariot for her? He was still so picky. Just when Carla was complaining, Bruce finally received the news that the convoy escorting Harvey had already set off. Harvey voluntarily admitted that he was Batman at the daytime reception, so he was temporarily detained, but after all, he was in order to lure Joker to bring him to justice, so Harvey intends to have him escorted to another prison. And during this journey, Joker will definitely appear. Once Joker appears, Bruce and Carla can arrest Joker and bring him to justice. To put it bluntly, this is all a conspiracy, and it will be revealed at all. But they just bet that with Joker's crazy style, he will definitely show up. Sure enough, not long after the convoy escorting Harvey left, they encountered a pre-prepared roadblock on the highway, and several ignited trucks blocked the planned way, forcing the helpless army to enter the underground tunnel. But immediately afterwards, several trucks suddenly appeared in the underground tunnel and began to attack the convoy. Because the enemy's firepower was too fierce, even the escort convoy could not fight back. Bruce and Carla know it's their turn. Bruce also asked Carla if she wanted to ride in his car. Carla shook her head, "Forget it, working with you will only make me feel more tied up." Bruce understood what Carla meant, she was probably going to kill. Before Bruce opened his mouth to stop him, Carla reminded, "Bruce, do you know how many people died in just this moment?" Bruce fell silent. Carla started the locomotive first, and then disappeared into a silver-grey light and shadow with a whoosh sound. Bruce didn't neglect either, and followed Carla closely to the direction where the incident happened. When Carla and Bruce arrived one after the other, the battle in the underground tunnel had already entered the most intense stage, and even the Joker side arrogantly pulled out rockets. "Bruce, are you sure you want to keep such arrogant and crazy guys?" Carla glanced sideways at Bruce, and asked in a sarcastic tone through the headset. Bruce didn't make any waves, "At least keep Joker." Shouting, Carla smacked her lips, added a bit of accelerator in her hands, and the speed of the locomotive began to shake off Bruce's chariot, and went straight to the oncoming convoy. It turned out that Carla and Bruce came in from the other end of the tunnel. They didn't chase the two convoys, but came face to face. Carla dodged the police convoy before heading straight for one of the gangsters' trucks on the other side. The driver and the CO driver in that car looked at each other, then shrugged and spread their hands. They were driving a truck, so would they be afraid of a locomotive? Who is afraid of the other? At the moment, the two sides refused to give in to each other and collided head-on. Carla. Seeing this scene, Bruce exclaimed, "Even if it is a Batmobile, it is still a motorcycle, how could it be possible to hit a big truck?" He thought Carla would escape in time. Unexpectedly, Carla bumped into it. At this time, Carla's voice sounded on the channel of the two, "It's so noisy, don't shout so loudly, my sister is not dead yet." Only then did Bruce see clearly that Carla lifted the front of the car at the last moment as if she jumped up. She didn't collide with the truck in the ordinary sense, but smashed the windshield and crashed into the driver's cab with the car. Up. Just like the locomotive is not worth mentioning in front of the truck just now, how can two human bodies be compared with the locomotive under the huge amounts of impact and inertia? Very good, and Carla secretly arranged with his own biological standpoint, he smashed the two into flesh on the spot. Carla started the locomotive again in the cab, knocked open the door of the cab and jumped out. And the truck that lost the driver immediately lost control, turned around and hit the load-bearing wall of the tunnel on the side. Bruce breathed a sigh of relief and felt relieved. If something happened to Carla, not only would he be sad as a friend, but he also didn't know how to explain to Jennifer. Now that she's all right, Bruce gets into action too. Stepping on the gas pedal of the tank, Bruce rushed to another gangster's truck just like Carla just now. The body of the chariot was not high, and it was extremely strong, which allowed Bruce to drive the chariot into the chassis of a truck, overturning a heavy truck. In the blink of an eye, Carla and Bruce each took out an enemy truck. And then they almost locked the truck that Joker is in together. 90. The arrival of Kara and Bruce immediately reversed the unfavorable situation of the police force. They violently eliminated the two trucks in their own ways, leaving only the last Joker's truck in front of them. But Joker is not easy to mess with. He noticed two Batmans, one left and one right, one silver grey and one pure black, one male and one female, coming straight towards him. Joker, however, was unhurt and let out a strange laugh. He raised the RPG launcher in his hand and aimed a rocket at the truck that was actually escorting Harvey. In a hurry, Bruce had to choose an angle and flew up through a police car, blocking Joker's rockets with his tank. Kara scans and sees that Bruce himself is fine, but his tank is clearly out of action. But don't forget that Kara turned the chariot into a locomotive, and apparently Bruce also has a locomotive hidden in his army. With Bruce also changed to a pure black motorcycle and walked side by side with Kara, the two men's styles matched even more. The two looked at each other and nodded to each other. Even if there was not enough tacit understanding, don't forget that they still have special channels and radios. Kara, don't kill him, we can pull him out of the truck with steel wire with a load-bearing capacity of more than 30 tons, Bruce is the real owner of these equipment, so he knows what weapons he has. It turns out that the locomotive is also equipped with a terrible steel wire, which is not originally heavy, but the load-bearing capacity can reach a terrible 30 tons. 090 Kara turned her head and glanced at Bruce again, feeling bored in her heart. But she didn't say much, but agreed, I see, don't forget to fix my chariot. It was the first time she got her own chariot, and she was destroyed by herself before she had time to show off, and it would be embarrassing to say it. Fortunately, Bruce didn't know why the chariot was destroyed. Bruce naturally agreed, this is just a small problem, and the problem that money can solve has never been a problem for him. Then you see, Kara and Bruce start to move separately, they rush from the left and right and behind Joker's truck from behind. Joker couldn't see clearly what was going on in the car, and seemed to be jumping up and down there a little impatiently, and for a while, he really had a sense of Joker's déjà vu. But he was a manifestation of madness, hiding a terrible disregard for the rules, and even a madness that disregarded morality and law. Anyone who dares to underestimate Joker will suffer a lot, even Kara and Bruce are no exception. When they came to the back of the truck, Kara and Bruce started to act. They first got in from the last wheel behind the truck, and then drove the powerful steel wire into the cargo compartment of the truck with the weapons on the locomotive. Then, the two quickly continued to move under the truck site, laying down several sections on the left and right sides, because there is no cure. Finally, they left in the left and right directions respectively, and then circled around the nearby load-bearing wall column several times, and then drove the steel wire at the last end into the ground. Stopping the locomotive, Kara turned to look at the truck behind her. This is an underground tunnel, and the quality of those load-bearing wall columns is unquestionable. Even if the entire truck hits it, the car will only be destroyed. What's more, the two stone pillars bear the gravity together. When the steel wire was stretched to the limit, there was a terrible sound, and the truck compartment was pulled down. That's right, the front of the truck continued to move forward at a fast speed, but the rear compartment was torn apart abruptly. Because this kind of carriage can be disassembled, so the carriage was not torn apart, and the Joker and others inside just lost their balance and rolled together, falling into a coma. The police force who saw this scene also stopped in the distance ahead, and subdued the people in the front of the truck by the way. Kara noticed that Bruce was driving towards the direction of the truck compartment, and noticed some people jumping out of the darkness nearby, and the leader was Gordon. It turned out that Gordon was not dead. He was wearing body armor at the time, and after blocking a shot for the commander, he escaped by feigning death. Then he and Bruce planned the entire operation plan together. Even the steps of arresting people here are all exactly the same. Seeing this scene, Kara simply didn't bother to pass by, without saying hello, and left far away with a kind of hidden merit and fame. Gordon glanced at Kara's leaving back, didn't say much, and continued to lead the prepared team to capture Joker. Joker was not thrown to death in the carriage, but jumped out with a CABG gun, facing the fast-moving Bruce. He stood in the middle of the road without avoiding it, and opened his hands as a gesture of greeting. Come on, kill me if you have the ability. Kara resisted the urge to turn around. If Joker dared to yell at her like that, she would definitely hit him head-on, and she wouldn't be able to kill you. But now he is facing Bruce, and Bruce is actually struggling. He really wants to run into it desperately, but Bruce understands that once he hits it, it will be over. The beliefs he insisted on, the morality he last insisted on and maintained, will fall apart in an instant. In the end Bruce avoided the Joker, not because the Joker avoided him, but because he avoided the Joker. If it's a mind game, the Joker is clearly winning. Bruce also caused the locomotive to lose control and fell behind Joker, and Joker's men who came down from the car were about to control Bruce. Karla sighed and shook her head, not only didn't care about Bruce's safety, but instead accelerated the speed of the locomotive, turning into a silver-grey phantom and disappearing in the selected place in an instant. This is because Karla knows that a well-prepared Gordon will bring Joker to justice and Bruce will be fine. Sure enough, as Karla thought, everything seemed to be developing in a happy direction. Gordon appeared in time to arrest Joker and his party, and Harvey, who had been in danger along the way, was also released. But when he saw Gordon, Harvey was also surprised. It turned out that Gordon had only discussed the plan with Bruce, and even Harvey didn't know that Gordon had escaped and moved behind the scenes by feigning death. Normally, the villain, the biggest enemy, has also been captured, so this should be the end of the finale, right? Shouldn't the subtitle group also take a turn? However, is this really the case? Speaking of which, Karla had doubts on the way back. It stands to reason that Joker shouldn't be so stupid, right? He played around with himself, Bruce, and even everyone in Gotham City. Would he really be so easily fooled? Not to mention anything else, Joker should not be lying when he said that he was an undercover agent in the police station. So in other words, Joker may have heard some news, right? For example, this is Harvey and Bruce's plan or something. Speaking of which, Joker didn't use rockets from the very beginning and insisted on waiting for them to appear. Why is that? Karla had a bad premonition. I always feel that my mother is being fooled again. Just say that you can't let this dangerous guy speak, otherwise all 10 mouths will be full. Karla even felt a sense of frustration that all these years of knowledge had been learned in vain. There is no way, after all, she is not a lunatic and does not understand the way of thinking of neuropathy. But she still thinks, Bruce, be careful, maybe this is a trap of Joker. Always feel that Joker deliberately let himself be caught. Bruce. The radio channel was still there, but Karla would never have guessed that Bruce had knocked one of his own people out. 91. Karla was running fast on the street, and went straight home, definitely to Jennifer's house. As for the arrest of Joker on the other side, it has nothing to do with her. If Joker cannot be caught in this way, those people will all die. It's rubbish. Fortunately, there was no situation where Karla scolded others. I heard that Joker has been indeed captured. And Bruce, he still didn't make up his mind to run into Joker at the time, although he wanted to do it so much, but Bruce knew, and Karla also knew, once he ran into Joker and killed him, Bruce's faith would collapse. In that way, the Joker's conspiracy has succeeded. Although there is no so-called Joker toxin here, once Bruce's beliefs collapse and the constraints on justice, morality, and law are all released, he will be terrible at that time. The Laughing Bat once completely destroyed his own universe, and everyone in the entire Justice League was killed by him, transformed. Once he kills Crazy Eye, maybe even Karla will find it tricky. So when Karla quarreled with him, she also said that she recognized his beliefs, but she didn't agree with them. Approval means that I think your idea is very good, and disagreement means that I will not do that. In fact, Karla has always been afraid of driving him crazy. Batman is either this extreme or the other extreme, which is very troublesome. But if he really kills the Joker, once he sets the precedent, once he tastes the sweetness, once he becomes an unrighteous Batman, there will be no unrighteous Superman. Fortunately, he is Batman after all, and still retains his bottom line. Karla also breathed a sigh of relief, standing on the windowsill, looking out at the night sky that was still in the middle of the night. She said that Batman is the benchmark of justice. This sentence is not a compliment. At least she couldn't, and if Bruce hadn't told her a few times not to kill the Joker, she would have done it. At this moment, Jennifer came over from behind and handed Karla a glass of water. Karla turned around and glanced in the direction of the door. Alfred had already gone back, and he left after Karla returned safely, and he was also worried about whether Bruce was injured again. Why say again? Because every time Bruce acted as Batman, he often wounded himself. After all, the main targets he faced and attacked were gangsters who almost ruled the underground of Gotham City. Afu didn't say anything, did he? Karla suddenly felt guilty. Jennifer showed a dumbfounded expression when she heard this, remembering that she and Afu saw Karla blowing up the chariot for some reason upstairs, and finally disappeared into the distance on a motorcycle. Mr. Alfred and I, don't forget Afo's real name, were stunned. Okay, what did you do? Jennifer still doesn't know why Carla chose to give up chariot. Even if it is for the pursuit of speed, the chariot will not be much slower than the locomotive, and the chariot has better defense, more stable, and even equipped with many powerful weapons. No matter how bad it is, you can wait for the tank to be damaged before changing to a locomotive. Carla said in her heart that I pressed the wrong button. But it's definitely embarrassing to say it at this time. Okay, it's getting late, it's time to get ready for bed, let's go girl, my sister will accompany you. It's dead, people think it's going on when they hear it. The two best friends and sisters are talking and laughing and are planning to take a rest. But suddenly, Carla's eyes were in a trance, and the super predictive ability broke out involuntarily. In fact, even Carla herself can't fully control the super precognition, and she doesn't even know whether this ability is because she learned magic, or the super ability that suddenly awakened when she woke up one morning. The reason is that she has guided Clark to practice magic, but Clark has never had a super precognitive ability, and she is the only one who sees some future pictures from time to time. But this time, what Carla saw was a terrifying scene. The sudden fire engulfed two people, Rachel and Harvey. As expected, Joker kept his backhand. He actually pretended to be tricked on purpose, but in fact he knew that this was a trap. He knew a long time ago that he was playing tricks. Just like what Carla worried about before, Joker was arrested on purpose, and the reason why he wanted to do this was because he had nothing to fear. In fact, Joker never gave up his threat to Harvey and Rachel, even Rachel had already been arrested, and had to mention. Moreover, Joker was arrested for another purpose. As mentioned earlier, the reason why those gangsters can be prosecuted is because of a witness named Xiao Lu, who is the target of Joker. Once Xiao Lu was taken away by him, none of those prosecutions would be effective. None of this matters. Carla raised her hand and slapped her forehead, and even made a loud noise, which startled Jennifer. Jennifer turned her head to look at Carla in confusion, and was startled again, only to see that Carla's face was suddenly covered with cold sweat. Carla doesn't care about Joker anymore, because there is a scarier guy. Zero looking for her flowers. If there is no accident, she will rest with her arms around Jennifer next, but in order not to be disturbed, they will turn off their mobile phones, and they have been disturbed several times by Bruce. But the most important thing this time is that Harvey and Rachel will die, and Bruce will blame Carla for not helping him, and even go crazy because of it. He won't turn into the laughing bat, but it will be more terrifying. The future Bruce will be completely out of control, and finally Carla even sees a yellow ring on his finger. At that time, the entire Gotham City will be plunged into fear. Bane? League of Shadow Warriors? They'll never know that when Batman stands in their way, any of their plots will be thwarted by Batman. But once Batman becomes a terror that threatens the city, it can be destroyed more easily than anyone. Zero Carla? What's wrong Carla? Jennifer reached out and shook Carla's shoulder, thinking she was injured, picked up the phone and was about to call an ambulance. It turned out that Carla's phone rang first. Carla, Brutzo's voice came from the opposite side. But before Bruce could finish speaking, Carla interrupted, is Rachel and Harvey missing? How do you know? Brewston paused, but now it's no longer the question of Carla's knowledge. He hurriedly said, Carla, I need your help, please, no, I beg you to help me again, help I saved Rachel. Bruce even used the word beg. Carla took a deep breath. In fact, she didn't need Bruce to call. She was already planning to rush there. The reason was that she must not just watch Batman fall, otherwise, the entire universe might be threatened. Time to kill Bruce, or Bruce will find a way to deal with the Kryptonians sooner or later. Bruce on the opposite side was silent for a while, thinking that Carla was silent because of Rachel, and suddenly said, Carla, Rachel has already rejected me, just today during the day, because Harvey said he was related to Batman. She said she was more like Harvey, and decided to accept Harvey's marriage proposal. So it's no longer because of personal feelings, and I'm going to give Rachel to you, and I'll save Harvey. Carla subconsciously looked at Jennifer. Jennifer spread her hands, why are you looking at me? What does it have to do with me? Carla rolled her eyes and flattened the corners of her mouth before saying this. Okay, I will immediately go to the loss. 92. In the police station, Bruce was interrogating Joker when Carla had to put on the battlesuit again and come back. It is said to be an interrogation, but in fact it has already started. Gordon at the moment was anxiously trying to open the door of the interrogation room, but Bruce blocked the door with a chair in the room. It is estimated that Gordon regrets it now, and Bruce should not be allowed to interrogate Joker alone. Seeing Karla coming, Gordon seemed to see a savior. You stop him, he is about to kill Joker. Karla glanced at Gordon with a smile on her lips. Gordon still doesn't know that he actually chose the wrong person. The one inside will not kill the Joker, and the one outside is the most dangerous person. Karla took a look at the situation inside the interrogation room. The interrogation room usually uses one-way glass, which means that the outside can see the inside, but the 853 cannot be seen from the inside. Including the sound, only the sound from inside came out, but the movement outside could not be heard. Karla glanced at the chair in front of the door, didn't bother to let Bruce open the door, and walked straight towards the glass. Before Gordon and the other police officers knew what she was going to do, they saw Karla raise her right hand and punch it hard when she came to the thick glass wall. Her movements were too crisp and neat, and she smashed a big hole in the thick glass wall with one punch. That's bulletproof glass that can't be broken by a pistol. Everyone was dumbfounded. And Karla just jumped in. Bruce at the moment is holding Joker against the wall. Say, where are Rachel and Harvey? Joker ignored him, but turned to look at Karla with a smile. Ordinary people have long been terrified of Bruce's threat, not to mention that Bruce is going crazy now. He said that he has no attachment to Rachel, but after all, he is still his crush and childhood sweetheart for many years. Don't care anymore. So he also tyrannized the Joker. I didn't see Gordon going crazy, so he went to the doctor in a hurry. How did Gordon know that Karla was the most dangerous one? Karla waved her hand. Go away. She's talking to Bruce. Bruce wanted to let go subconsciously, but he reacted immediately, and he did not hesitate to block Karla with his body. What are you going to do? Karla looked at Bruce helplessly. Don't worry, I won't kill Sheriff Gordon in front of him. I don't want to turn from a hero into a criminal. Well, she'll still do Gordon a favor. Only then did Bruce feel a little more relieved, and gave Karla the position to face Oda directly. Karla looked at Joker and said, let's not go around in circles, and I'm too lazy to talk nonsense with you. Tell me, their whereabouts. Everyone knows that your purpose is not to really kill them, otherwise you don't have to play this game, just kill them directly. Karla knew that since Joker didn't kill Harvey and Rachel in the first place, he was playing a game that would probably drag Batman or the Knight of Light into the abyss. But Karla will never let him succeed. Joker looked at Karla, and finally said 2 addresses, but you have to be quick, otherwise I can't guarantee that you will have enough time to rescue them. You don't have to worry about that, Karla said, turning to Bruce and asking, who are you going to save? Without thinking about it, Bruce said, Harvey. He had said on the phone before that he had been dumped by Rachel, and he and Rachel were no longer in that relationship. Definitely no one knows what he thinks in his heart. Karla shrugged, and was about to turn to act. Bruce followed closely behind. Did the two intend to go out through the window that was broken by Karla's punch before, and didn't intend to help Gordon open the door? But at this moment, Joker's voice came from behind. Speaking of which, I didn't seem to say that there were only 2 people, did I? Sergeant Gordon. No, it was Commissioner Gordon who just came home and just gave me a few. This subordinate led the way. I didn't know that Director Gordon had a son and a daughter. Everyone was startled and subconsciously looked at Gordon over there. Gordon was originally only the sheriff, but after the death of the chief, plus this meritorious service, he will definitely become the new chief. But now Gordon can't care about this. He rushed to this side from the door a few steps, stared at Joker, and shouted angrily, what did you do? Damn it, you are against Jim, actually Gordon's son, James Gordon Jr., Gordon is James Gordon, but as a father, you shouldn't call it that, so it's a nickname, and what did Barbara do? Joker shrugged, why so serious? This is just a game. Zero, now that I know there are 2 Batmans, it's time for you to make a choice. Who are you going to save? Rachel? Harvey? Little James Gordon? Or Gordon? Or Chief Gordon's wife? You madman, Gordon said, slamming his fist against the side glass wall, but he didn't have Karla's strength, so he had to rip his own fists apart. Bruce also felt chills in his heart, because he knew that Joker was testing humanity, Bruce and Karla, Gordon, and everyone present. According to selfishness and personal feelings, they must save Harvey and Rachel, but how should they face Gordon? How will they face him in the future? And just because it is a superhero, at the moment should give up the small self and complete the big self at this moment. But being emotional and reasonable Harvey and Rachel is more important. But life is not such a simple arithmetic problem. Joker, he really deserves to be Batman's biggest enemy. He is a terrifying existence that can make Batman, a master tactician, frequently hard-pressed. If he is not a lunatic, but a person full of justice, he will definitely team up with Batman to become a bat fighter. Unfortunately that is not possible. Give it to me. Just when everyone felt that there was nothing to worry about, Carla suddenly stepped forward. Harvey didn't ask you the question 3.6, did you? Leave the others to me. But. No but, Carla snorted lightly, continuing to delay will only waste time, and since I dare to make a promise, no matter what happens, I will bear it. Joker reminded Carla, you haven't asked Director Gordon's family address yet, and I didn't intend to tell you so easily. Carla responded with a sneer, it's no longer needed. With that said, Carla walked outside. Bruce could only choose to keep up, but on the way out he still couldn't help but asked worriedly, are you sure? Definitely no problem. After this, though, you're going to leave Joker alone with me. Don't worry, I won't kill him, and it'll only take 10 minutes. 10 minutes of total solitude. 93. Joker is very cunning, he seems to cooperate, he seems to be very happy to explain the location of Harvey and Rachel, but he didn't say until the end that he also hijacked Gordon's family. He was disturbing other people's nerves, forcing everyone to be anxious, and even wanted everyone to become crazy like him. He was not afraid of being hurt, he wished Bruce would kill him, in that case, his goal would be achieved, and he would drag Bruce into the abyss. But Carla's existence is an accident, he thinks he knows Carla very well, but, is that really the case? Carla didn't ask about the whereabouts of Gordon's family at all. It seemed ruthless, as if she had abandoned Gordon's family, but it was not like that. At the gate of the police station, Carla and Bruce separated. Bruce will be responsible for rescuing Harvey, while Carla will be responsible for everyone else, including Rachel. The positions of the two people are almost completely opposite. Joker did this on purpose, his arrangement is to cause trouble for people, this guy. Carla and Bruce started to move separately, not to mention Bruce rushed to Harvey's whereabouts, and then looked at Carla, she drove into an alley nearby, and then she stopped. It's still going to be like this, Carla sighed softly. Joker, including Bruce and even Carla's best friends Jennifer and Danny, they all don't know that Carla is not from Earth. Her biggest secret is known only to her family, she is a Kryptonian. Joker made a mistake, and it was impossible for him to think that Carla would be an alien. Getting off the motorcycle, Carla flexed her shoulders, and then she kicked off the ground and jumped up into the sky. Carla flew into the sky like this. She didn't want to do this at first, but now that the situation was urgent, she couldn't care less. Flying into the air, Carla glanced at Rachel's position first, to confirm what was going on with her. As a result, Carla was taken aback, and found that it wasn't Rachel at all, but Harvey. It turns out that Joker also deliberately reversed the positions of Harvey and Rachel. That jerk. Carla gritted her teeth with anger. Although it was fine, it definitely didn't feel good to be played by someone. Carla saw that Harvey was tied to a chair, surrounded by countless gasoline barrels, and there was even a countdown bomb in front of him. The countdown time is only 5 minutes. Once it explodes, plus the gasoline on the scene, Harvey has absolutely no chance of survival. But Carla was not in a hurry, but turned her head to look in another direction. At the moment, she turned on supervision to the limit. At this moment, Carla can see almost everything in Gotham City. She is investigating. Although she has never seen Gordon's family, as long as there is something similar to kidnapping the event, it should be. Soon, Carla locked onto the target. In the 3 corners of the city, there are 3 huts. The layout inside is almost exactly the same as Harvey, except that a middle-aged father and daughter, a 13-year-old girl, and an 11-year-old boy are imprisoned inside. Carla is convinced that they should be Gordon's family. The process was cumbersome, but Carla completed it in less than a minute. At this time, Bruce was still rushing to the location of Harvey. Carla glanced over there and found Rachel's whereabouts. There is nothing to say next, and there are 4 minutes left in the countdown, and Carla starts to act. She first flew to where Gordon's wife was, because Joker didn't even arrange a guardsman, so the rescue process went very smoothly. Or maybe Joker originally arranged for his subordinates, but who dares to guard this place? Probably already ran away. Mrs. Gordon wanted to ask the children as soon as she was rescued, but before she could open her mouth, Carla took her across half of Gotham City to another room. That's where Barbara Gordon was, and Carla and Mrs. Gordon rescued her too. Then came James Gordon Jr. at the end. Before the Gordon family could react, they were rescued by Carla. This is the power of Superman. Many times not only the enemy can't keep up with Superman's speed, even the rescued people don't know what happened. If I have to say it, Carla's current speed can circle the world at the shortest distance from the Earth within 1 minute. Not to mention it's just a little Gotham City, the whole journey takes less than a minute. In the end, the Gordon family stood at the door of their house, looking at each other stupidly, and they haven't recovered until now. But they remembered one thing: Carla told them to call Gordon in another 5 minutes to report that he was safe. Carla is worried that Joker will make trouble after hearing the news. Carla was also a little psychologically shadowed by Joker. Anyway, there is nothing wrong with being careful. Finally, Carla finally came to Harvey's place. Harvey was on the phone with Rachel when Carla came in. Unexpectedly, Joker took good care of them and left walkie-talkies for them so that they could talk when they were bored. By the way, should I thank Joker? When he saw Carla, Harvey was taken aback for a moment, then his expression changed, and he shouted, "Why are you here? Damn it, go and save Rachel." "Don't worry, the other one has already gone," Carla said as she walked over, untied Harvey, and led him outside. "Rachel," Harvey was still calling into the walkie-talkie, worried about what was going on with Rachel until he was sure Rachel was okay. As a result, a deep and hoarse voice came from over there, "I'm already here." After Carla had already saved the Gordons, Bruce was late. In fact, Bruce is already very fast, but no matter how fast 207 is, it must not be as fast as Carla. After all, she can fly. In this way, Harvey and Rachel were finally rescued by Carla and Bruce without any risk. When they met back in front of the police station, they still hugged each other tightly. "Harvey, I am willing to marry you." Rachel, who survived the catastrophe, was very excited, and even confessed on the spot, agreeing to marry Harvey. Harvey can't help being with Rachel Cheen too. Carla turned her head to look at Bruce, shaking her head. "Tisk tisk, Mr. Green. Be strong," she said, going over to pat Bruce on the shoulder, as if it wasn't a big deal. After all, Bruce is Bruce. Although he was deeply hit, he didn't show it, or he didn't actually get hit, because he said before that he was dumped by Rachel during the day, right? Carla came to Gordon again and said, "How is it? Have you received a call from home?" Gordon nodded and thanked Carla gratefully. "Thank you. If something happened to them, I really don't know how to live in the future." "But, how did you do it? You spent almost a minute around Brother Tan. She flied around, right?" After all, Carla can't hide it from the Gordon family, he seems to know something. Just when Carla was thinking of an excuse to fool, an unexpected incident gave her a break. Boom! There was a sudden roar from the police station behind everyone, and the police station exploded. 94. This sudden explosion caught everyone by surprise. Moreover, the explosion was so powerful that all the glass on the first floor of the police station was blown away. Everyone outside the door squatted down subconsciously, and some even got down on the ground. Only Carla stood there with her back to the police station motionless, her cloak shaken by the explosive shockwave, making her look even more dashing and handsome. Carla turned her head thoughtfully and smiled. Joker's plan, in fact, she saw in the future picture seen by the super foreseeing. That's the end of everything. It's impossible for you to act recklessly, and it's impossible for you to mess up the world again, Carla said as she walked into the police building. At the moment the aftermath of the explosion is not over, it is actually dangerous to do so. But Carla didn't care, and went straight to the place where the criminals were held downstairs. It was a temporary cell, where those who had just been captured but had not yet been tried and convicted would be held. Carla came all the way here, but when she came to the ground, she saw that Joker had escaped, and he really rescued Xiao Lu. It can't be said to be rescued, his purpose is just to take Xiao Lu out, as to whether to save or take out to help those big bosses kill, it is not certain. Seeing that someone even wanted to provide Joker with a police car to escape, Carla said, "Hey, that's our important witness. Where are you going to take him?" Joker shrugged, turned his back to Carla, took a pistol from the police undercover, turned around and shot Carla 3 times. However, 3 bullets stopped in front of Carla. Even Joker showed a surprised expression at this scene. Karla smiled, and with a thought, controlled the 3 bullets with psychokinesis, aiming at the undercover agent behind Joker. In fact, she can completely ignore the attack of bullets. Now Karla can resist even nuclear bombs, but she didn't do that, but took the initiative to expose her psychokinesis. The reason is actually very simple. There needs to be an explanation for her ability to fly before. At least she doesn't want to expose her identity as an alien, and would rather expose her super ability. The undercover fell without saying a word, and he didn't have the defenses of Superman. Karla turned her gaze back on Joker again. I won't let you escape, this game is over. Saying that, Karla controlled Joker with psychokinesis, forming a transparent shield similar to a protective shield, trapping Joker firmly in it and unable to get out. As for Xiaolu, he was pulled over by Karla with psychokinesis so as not to be taken hostage by Joker. Are you a fool? Karla knocked Xiaolu on the head with his hand, almost making him faint. If you are taken away by him, the next step is to kill you in front of those big guys. Don't forget that you have already betrayed those big guys. Your only way to survive now is to send those big guys to prison. Otherwise, you will die. Karla also helped Jennifer and the others to warn and deter Xiaolu. Xiaolu may not be ignorant of this, he has offended all the gangsters in Gotham City to death, so he explained aggrievedly, I was held hostage by him. Karla just let him go with a soft snort. After a while, the others arrived late. When I saw the situation here, I couldn't help being surprised. It turned out that there were undercover agents in the police station, and Joker was almost let go. Fortunately, Karla arrived in time and thwarted Oda's plan. But when he saw her protective cover, he couldn't help being surprised and amazed. Even Bruce asked, what is this? I never knew you had this ability. It's just a super ability. Karla obviously didn't want to say more, let go of Joker and asked him to take him away and lock him up again. But Bruce grinned. Super ability can't be described as but, right? Karla ignored him and turned to warn Gordon, go and inform your people, if there are still people who are undercover, let them think carefully, those bosses will definitely be tried, if they are willing to wait for this to end, that's all. Otherwise, they will have to pay a heavy price. In fact, these undercover agents are not Joker's subordinates. Joker has only recently become active, and he doesn't have enough time to train undercover agents. These undercover agents are subordinates of the gangsters, and some are leftovers from the time of Carmine Falcone. Karla is too lazy to take care of these things, because it is likely to be thankless, and she only wants to solve the Joker matter now. Joker is the most dangerous, his madness is illogical, and he is likely to threaten the people Karla cares about again. Too bad Bruce wouldn't let her kill Joker. There was a thoughtful look in Karla's eyes, she didn't really have no choice. So far, Karla has been tossing around with her busy work for most of the night, and the matter has finally come to an end. Even Joker sat there obediently, looking extremely well behaved, because even he himself knew that he had lost. Karla cheated by predicting the future, taking Joker's next move ahead of time, and if one move is wrong, the whole game may be lost. He gave up and sat there silently. If he hadn't just experienced the chaos and panic he brought to the city, he might have thought that he was not the kind of murderous person, right? Even Karla couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief that it was finally over. Turning around and walking outside the police station, she sat down on the steps regardless of her image. Karla was actually a little frustrated. After all, Joker is just an ordinary person, but it forces Karla to use her super strength. What if she is also an ordinary person? What if she doesn't have those super strengths? Woolen cloth? In fact, Karla and Bruce have already lost, and the two of them together were played around by Joker, and they didn't win. What would happen to Gordon if his family was killed by the Joker and Bruce and Karla gave up? What would he think? Blackened because of it? What about Harvey if Rachel is given up? Will he become double-faced? What if Harvey dies? Will Rachel be the next Joker? The scariest and frightening thing about Joker is that besides his madness and disregard for rules, morals, laws, and human rights chaos, there is also his, Niu Zhao Zhao, shocking and unbelievable mind and his psychology, criminal psychology, and the mastery of human nature. Karla suddenly recalled a sentence Jennifer said. She said, when it is not a last resort, who doesn't want justice? But what about when it really comes down to it? What the Joker has to do is to force people into that last resort, and then hide from the side with a smile and watch the dark side of human nature being infinitely magnified. Even for Karla, the Joker is the greatest crisis and the most terrifying enemy she has ever encountered, because even she was almost limped by the Joker. Give me a cigarette, Carla said suddenly. I don't smoke, Bruce said. It was Harvey who came over and offered Carla a cigarette. Carla snapped his fingers, a cluster of flames emerged from his fingertips, lit a cigarette and took a long puff of smoke. In a cloud of smoke, Carla said, I'm not doing Bat-Girl anymore. 95. Carla finally decided to let go of Batman's identity completely. She's not Batman after all, and she doesn't have synthesis for Batman either. Joker is her last confession to Bruce. Don't look for me again, because even if you look for me, I won't help you as Batman anymore, that's all, Carla said while standing up. After taking the last puff of cigarette, she slowly floated up. Now that it has been exposed, Carla simply stopped hiding it. Carla flew up in front of Bruce, Harvey, and the others. After taking a final look at Bruce and the others, Carla turned and flew away. From now on, she will bid farewell for a period of time, and will no longer act as a superhero, but return to her original daily life. And there should be a period of peace after Joker too. In the alley before, Carla found her own motorcycle, changed into the motorcycle and went straight to Wayne Manor. Afu came back a long time ago, he didn't know what happened afterwards, and asked Carla, didn't you already catch Joker? While putting all the equipment back into the Batcave, Carla said casually, something happened later, let me explain it to you when Bruce comes back. I'm leaving at 277. By the way, give me Bruce's car. Tower. Afu was also unambiguous, opened Bruce's garage, and there were all kinds of luxury cars inside, such as Maserati, Porsche, everything, all kinds of super sports cars, and some locomotives were all high-level goods that far surpassed ordinary sports cars. Carla chose a car at random and jumped in. Obviously, the door could be opened, but she saw that it was a convertible, so she jumped in directly. With Bruce's inhumanity, all the cars are equipped with keys, which means that they can be started by sitting on them. Carla greeted Afu and drove away in a supercar. After that, there was nothing to talk about. After driving all the way back to Jennifer's house, Carla didn't expect that Jennifer was waiting for her all the time, never resting. When Carla came in, he looked at her with a complicated face, do you have super abilities? Carla was stunned for a moment, and instantly understood who said it, I didn't expect that the Wayne family is still an eighth wife. Bruce must have called her. By the way, didn't you let go? Why are you still in touch? Carla asked without answering. Jennifer has been with her for so many years, kawaii, so she won't be fooled, don't change the subject, what's going on? Let me see. Carla knew that once she exposed her super ability, it would definitely become like this. At least when facing the people around her, she couldn't help but respond. That's why Carla said that the BD Joker still won and she lost. No way, facing Jennifer's shining expectant eyes, Carla had no choice but to show her super ability, actually, it's just psychokinesis. Carla said vaguely, she didn't intend to reveal everything, even with Jennifer, she had to hold back, because she didn't know when this little BCH would betray herself. She looks so strong, but who knows if Bruce will tell it all when he asks. And that guy Bruce, in case he prepares kryptonite to target his teammates, Carla is also worried about being backstabbed by him. Next Carla showed Jennifer some things she learned in the magic book, such as psychokinesis. Psychokinesis is a very complex power, if it literally means the power of mind creation, or command, control. Therefore, the development space of psychokinesis is very large, and it includes many ways of expression. The most basic ones are teleportation, lifting things up, or twisting spoons. That is not a trick of magic. Magic will find the force point of the spoon, or simply prepare the props in advance, and then cause the super ability of psychokinesis to bend the spoon. But Carla's psychokinesis is real. She doesn't need to pick up the spoon herself, but uses psychokinesis to float all of Jennifer's spoons out of thin air and twist them together. It's not just a bend, it's all twisted into a twist. Jennifer was stunned by this scene, and asked, what else? Carla was helpless, and showed her the flame again. Carla opened her hands, and 2 half-meter-high raging flames shot out from her palms. In fact, this is not a super ability, more precisely, it is magic, so Carla is not the kind of controlling flames, but can create flames with magic. This point needs to be clarified, some super abilities can control flames, but they do not have the ability to create flames originally. For example, the pyroman next door, he himself said that he can control fire but cannot create fire. Definitely the Human Torch is different, the Fantastic Four's Human Torch can control and create fire. Then there is wind, water, and air. Karla was once selected by Necromancer Shazam when she was 15, and almost became Thunder Shazam. Definitely she doesn't like the power of Thunder Shazam. She knows that Thunder Shazam's power is borrowed from those so-called gods, but she also knows that the new Protoss of Apocalypse are also gods. However, in the future, she may fight Darkseid, the God King of Apocalypse, and she must also defeat and surpass Darkseid. A person who is inspired to defeat God, will she borrow strength from someone who is weaker than herself? What is the point of borrowing strength from someone weaker than herself? For example, would Bruce borrow money from a beggar? No matter how rich a beggar is, it is impossible for him to be richer than him, right? Far away. Although Karla did not become Thunder Shazam, Necromancer Shazam still helped her by giving her an entry-level magic book and 5 high-level magic books. In addition to psychokinesis, Karla also mastered the magic of the 4 major elements. The so-called 4 elements are wind, air, fire, water, and earth. Definitely no thunder, those are the 5 basic attributes of Hokage. In Karla's hands, flames, a ball of water, a whirlwind, and a rock appeared respectively. Even Karla showed a more advanced version, such as the flame turned blue and the temperature was higher. There is also a water polo that can transform into an ice hockey, and change shape-shifting states as you like, such as turning into a high-speed vibrating water blade, or a long, sharp ice spear. Not to mention the whirlwind. If the water is kaleidoscopic shapeshift, then the wind is invisible. Who can see the wind with the naked eye? It's like asking who can see the air. Air is both omnipresent and impenetrable because it is transparent, colorless, and odorless. So what if the air is used as an attack? Especially the earth element. Jennifer watched Karla conjure a piece of dirt out of thin air, then transformed into a rock, and finally turned into a gold brick. To tell you the truth, I told others before that I found a gold mine. Although it is not a lie, it is actually easier to create gold with magic than to mine gold mines hard. This. 96. A few days later, the first trial against the Joker began. Almost without any personal or physical evidence, the crimes he committed are obvious to all. Almost all TV stations in the United States were broadcasting live that day, and there were even news reports from all over the world. As the current Chief Justice of Gotham City, Jennifer also took this opportunity to show her face in front of the whole world, but she would rather not have this opportunity. Because the larger the scale of this trial, the more people have been harmed and even lost their lives. Before the court session, Jennifer also led all the people in the court to observe a 3-minute silence for the dead, and held Yuan Shen for the director. Joker was the only one who was indifferent, and his appearance and performance angered everyone, and someone shouted to kill him in court. As a result, she was unceremoniously expelled by Jennifer. There was an uproar on the spot. Dang dang dang! Jennifer knocked on the table with a wooden hammer to signal silence, and explained, "First of all, I must remind everyone present that Gotham City is an enlightened and developed city, so there is no death penalty in our laws in Gotham City. Remember, hanging people on the gallows doesn't happen in modern times." Also, Jennifer pointed at Joker again with the wooden hammer in her hand. "I think you have seen this guy's madness and ferocity, including me, who was also attacked by him, and Mr. Director died because of this, including Chief Prosecutor Mr. Harvey, Prosecutor Miss Rachel, and even Sheriff Gordon, all have been attacked and threatened by him. However, we are not intimidated by him, and justice will never lose to evil," Jennifer finally shouted loudly, receiving applause in an instant. "Look at Joker again, he is picking out his ears with handcuffed hands, and waving around his ears, as if something like a fly or a mosquito is bothering him. Anyone who sees him like this will be angry." But Jennifer didn't care. After finishing her opening remarks, she nodded to Harvey who was seated on the other side. "It's time to start. This time it is Harvey himself who is the prosecutor, and he will never let Joker go. Because everyone has seen what Joker has done during this period of time, and because he himself is outspoken, the entire trial process went extremely smoothly. Joker was sentenced to life in prison and barred from leaving prison on bail for 50 years. The so-called bail is also called bail pending trial. It is not an exchange of money for freedom and evasion of criminal responsibility. Even only suspects can leave prison this way. However, in a certain country, even the sentenced person still has a way to see the light of day. But now, for at least 50 years, no matter how rich Joker is, he cannot be released on bail. And a life sentence is scarier than a life sentence. Because the life sentence will be reduced according to good behavior. And life imprisonment means that there is no chance of commutation, which means being detained for a lifetime. Definitely, no matter how serious the crime Joker commits, in fact, there is no hope of cutting him off forever, because there are two types of life imprisonment, one is no parole, that is, the so-called bail, and the other is that you can be released on bail. The trial Jennifer gave him was that he would not be released on bail within 50 years, but after 50 years, maybe he could be released on bail with money. Although he was also imprisoned for life, he could be placed under house arrest at home. Anyone who has watched Ant-Man 2 knows that Scott was actually imprisoned on parole at home at that time, which was equivalent to house arrest. Don't mention these, because I don't understand it very well, just make a few sentences just to have fun. That afternoon, Joker was sent to the strictest prison in Gotham City. In fact, some people suggested sending him to the Arkham Asylum. Today, Nahi Island has almost recovered, and the last crisis did not destroy Nahi Island. But before that, there was a person who wanted to meet him, and it was a private meeting with absolute confidentiality and no interference. Karla. She came to the solitary closed cell where Joker was held, and not as Oracle Man, but as herself. You are here, my beautiful girl. Joker seemed to have guessed that she would come, and was not surprised at all. There is only one welded bed in Joker's room, and even the chair Karla is sitting on is brought in from outside. 0 for flowers. 0 prisoners who can enjoy this kind of room treatment are all vicious and dangerous, and this is a necessary guarantee. Karla crossed her arms, raised one leg, and just looked at Joker. As for his address, she didn't have any fluctuations. Joker was also looking at Karla, and the two of them just looked into each other's eyes. Strangely, they were very peaceful. Aren't you afraid that I'm here to kill you? You know, I have countless ways to kill you without being discovered by me. Even if someone knows, they will applaud, Karla asked. Is the Joker afraid? Karla is not Bruce after all, so she won't lose her faith just because she killed Joker. On the contrary, it is not her character not to kill Joker. 0 But Joker said without thinking, you won't kill me. Oh. Karla narrowed her eyes noncommittally, so confident. Because you and I are freaks, Joker grinned in a crazy grin. The corner of Karla's mouth moved slightly, but she forcibly endured it, put her feet down and leaned on the back of the chair, and denied, I'm not a freak. Joker is still laughing crazily, do you really think so? Well, even if you think so, then you won't kill me, because you know that if I die, the next one will be you and him. Superhero? Is it different from me? Perhaps the biggest difference is that you are willing to be used by them, but once all the criminals and evil ones are caught by you, who will be next? Justice? You are not justice. Just like me, why are you thorns in their eyes? If I and all the evil are extinct, what will you superhero do? Even if you want to retire by then, it will be a luxury, and countless people will clamor for liquidation. Yes, anyone can settle accounts after autumn. Facing Joker's crazy clamor, Karla remained silent. She told Bruce earlier that once her and Bruce's identities are exposed, there is no need for Joker to take action against them. Countless people will jump out, including Gordon, who is unwilling to bring someone to arrest her and Bruce. So, Joker is right about power. 97. Even Karla has to say that there are indeed many fallacies in Joker's words, but you can't say that what he said is wrong. For example, Batman. Batman appeared because Gotham City was rotten to the bone at that time, and there was no way to cure it without extreme measures. But the existence of Batman originally is outlawed. If there were no gangsters, Batman would be hunted down by the police first, and he would not even bother to fight criminals. Did evil breed justice, or did justice inspire evil? Did criminals make heroes, or did heroes make us criminals? Joker asked Karla. Karla stood up with a sigh, okay, I'm not here to discuss this with you, and I'm not crazy. I really can't understand the thoughts and thinking of you psychopaths. She doesn't want to be Harley Quinn. May 17th. So Karla decisively terminated the topic and interrupted Joker's speech. I have only one purpose for coming here this time, and that is to make you completely forget about me and Oracle Man, Karla said of her ultimate purpose for coming today. She can't forget that the Joker is holding a vital secret of his own. And she actually already has a solution. She thought of a solution on the last parade day, but she was still fooled by Joker at that time. But this time, she is bound to get rid of this point that is not good for her. Then you have to open my head and take it out, Joker said wildly. Carla shrugged, don't bother, look into my eyes. Carla took off the glasses that she usually used to cover up, but her beautiful blue eyes exuded a mysterious brilliance. She is turning on the super hypnotic ability, she can use psychological suggestion and hypnotism to make Oda forget her identity. Even Carla can ask Joker, besides you, who else in your subordinates knows my identity? Do you still have a backhand? At the moments Joker suddenly became sluggish, his voice seemed hollow, and he only knew how to answer Carla's inquiry, only I know that you and Bruce are Batman and Oracle Man, and I asked for those people from the gang boss. Yes, not trustworthy at all. I see. Carla nodded, she also felt the same, otherwise those gang bosses should have acted long ago. As for the backup preparations, my plans are all impromptu. I never have a careful plan, so there is no Joker to continue to ask and answer Carla's questions. Carla was surprised and terrified at the same time, the impromptu plan can turn people around, Joker is really scary. But it makes people feel that definitely, Joker is crazy after all, even if he has a meticulous plan, he will often be destroyed by himself in the middle of the execution. Definitely does not mean that Joker has no plan, he definitely has a plan, but it is not meticulous, not every step is planned in detail, but there is a general framework, but what is the content of the framework, even he himself does not know. Have no idea. Often he takes one step at a time, which is scary, because you don't know what he wants to do next. For example, he wanted to assassinate the chief, but what happened after the assassination? It seemed that that action had nothing to do with the subsequent actions. He just threatened the chief, that's all. Or is he just trying to draw people's attention to himself? In that case, there is no need, because Joker has already killed the director, which is not easy. Even Carla began to feel a headache, unwilling to continue talking nonsense with him, and directly implanted a psychological suggestion, forget it, forget all the memories related to Carla Kent, Oracle Man, etc., and forget Batman's identity. But that's all, Carla didn't make him forget anything else. Carla doesn't care why Joker became so crazy, no matter whether he became like this because he had a miserable childhood or experienced a miserable life. There are too many people in this world who are more miserable than him, but how many of them have become Jokers? It is not easy for most people in the world, but this is not a reason or an excuse to degenerate and hurt others, and Carla will not forgive his actions for any reason. At the same time, Carla will not let Joker forget what he did. Carla only wants one result, that is, Joker forgets his and Bruce's identity, and that's enough. Finally, when Joker came back to himself in a trance, he looked around stupidly. He showed a dazed and troubled expression. He always felt that many memories were lost in his mind, which were still precious, and his heart became empty, a little sour, with the sour smell of love, but unfortunately, he didn't like it at all. I remember who I had a crush on. Who is it? It seems that there is a beautiful girl that makes him fall in love with, but is there really a woman that he, a lunatic, can fall in love with? The other side. Carla walked out of Joker's ward with the chair, returned the chair to the guard at the exit, and was about to leave. She didn't come as Oracle Man, but Bruce managed to help her win this opportunity, so the process was smooth and secretive. Take the stairs leading to the upper floor. The prison is deep underground to prevent prisoners from escaping. There is only Carla in the whole elevator, and there are no cameras or anything. Carla raised her hand to cover her mouth, and covered half of her face. Suddenly, her shoulders trembled slightly, and finally she couldn't bear it anymore, and let out a clear and sweet laugh. Ha 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 ha, what is she laughing at? No one knows. If the Joker is there, maybe they will guess something. It was a ridicule full of irony, self-deprecation, and contempt, and it was out of control. The more I laughed, the more I couldn't stop it, until I laughed until my stomach hurt, and I laughed until tears flowed out. She was almost persuaded by a lunatic before, even twice, and even worse, she didn't think there was anything wrong with the 3.2 that lunatic said. It's ironic, but so true. Carla's tears didn't really come from laughter, but she still felt sad. What the hell is a superhero? Carla shook her head. Joker also said those words. Who made who? And who gave birth to whom? No, 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 in fact, even without Batman, Joker originally existed. He has always existed, but he was attracted after learning about Batman's deeds. So it cannot be said that Batman created Joker. But there is one thing Carla knows, at least for now, the existence of Joker is a kind of protection for Batman. Once Joker is eliminated, Batman will cease to exist, at least people don't want him to exist. Shaking her head, Carla slowly put away her laughter, raised her hand to wipe the tears from the corners of her eyes, and said to herself, sorrow. 98. It's finally a happy ending, Carla said as she walked out of the prison gate, standing on the side of the street under the sun, raising her hands and stretching her waist well. This period of time is not too long, and there is almost no physical work, which is completely incomparable with the Shadow Warrior Alliance headed by Lars in the last battle. To be honest, the last time was an intense and exciting battle, but this time there was no battle at all, it was more like a brainstorming IQ contest. This is a contest of super high IQ that tests psychology, anti-tracking, criminal psychology, human psychology, etc. If the power is suppressed in the category of ordinary people, it will undoubtedly be Joker's victory, and Carla will lose. During this period, she used Superman's power more than once, however, she was still led by the nose several times. If Carla wasn't Superman, it's likely that Oda would still be out there doing it. But in any case, Carla is from Kryptonian, so she uses her own strength, and it's not cheating, probably. It's finally over. After 20, as long as Xiao Lu handed over his confession, and then identify those gang bosses in the trial seat, Gotham City may really usher in its own dawn and justice. But that has nothing to do with her. Carla walked to a Lamborghini on the side of the road, without opening the door, and jumped in neatly after pressing the door. Unexpectedly, without taking out the key on the car, he stretched out his hand and pressed the start button, the sports car roared and rushed out with a whoosh. Carla came to Wayne's estate, she came to return the car. Afu, who has never changed for thousands of years, received Carla. Where's Bruce? Carla asked casually, really just casually, and turned around and she was about to leave. Unexpectedly, Afu said, the young master successfully invited Miss Jennifer, and they went to have lunch. Carla paused. Take me there, she turned around and went back to the car, letting Afu take her there. Afu looked at Carla, regretting in his heart, he shouldn't have told her. This is Miss Jennifer's own promise, Afu muttered, wanting to make up for his mistake just now. Carla rolled her eyes and snorted softly, I just went over to grab a sip of lunch, you kidnapped Jennifer, where should I go for lunch? Afu wanted to refute that it was not kidnapping, but Carla kept urging him to join the army quickly. Helpless, Afu could only apologize to Bruce in his heart. In the end, Afu took Carla to the restaurant that Bruce took her and Jennifer to before, which was the restaurant where Harvey met for the first time. Carla is still dressed in casual clothes today, but the doorman already knows her, and Afu is behind him, so he let her in without daring to stop her. After entering, Carla immediately saw Bruce and Jennifer in it. Jennifer still made a lot of well-dressed clothes today, which was the outfit that was lent to Carla that day, and she was wearing a white pearl necklace around her neck, which made Bruce couldn't help but frown frequently. Stare at Jennifer. Jennifer didn't know that Bruce's mother also had the same pearl necklace, and she was wearing the pearl necklace that day. The shadow of the broken pearls and falling pearls remained in his heart that night, but it was different today. Anson. Carla also saw that the table of Bruce and Jennifer had a total of 4 people, and the other 2 were Harvey and Rachel. At the dinner table, Harvey formally took out the ring and proposed. It turned out that Bruce and Jennifer were their witnesses. It's just that Bruce is for Rachel as a witness, and Jennifer is for Harvey. Because it happens that Bruce and Rachel are childhood sweethearts and Jennifer and Harvey have a working cooperation. 4 people are chatting happily. Carla didn't go over to obstruct it, but leaned against the bar with her arms folded. Until the manager, who had been silently by the side for a long time, asked in a low voice, Miss Carla, do you want to take you there? Or arrange a seat alone? Unexpectedly, he even remembered Carla's name. It is indeed extraordinary to be the manager of a hotel of this level. Carla shook her head, then turned to Afu and said, Old man, it seems that I'm going to invite you to treat me, old man? Afu didn't know whether to laugh or cry, but he didn't say much. It should. Carla has indeed helped Bruce a lot reasonably, the Wayne family owes a lot to Carla. Although Carla doesn't think so, everyone is doing justice with the goal of superhero. How can she feel that she is helping Bruce? Woolen cloth. But Afu is very stubborn, so he always wants to make up for Carla as much as possible in some things. At that moment, 2 people, one old and one young, walked around to the other side, found an empty seat and sat down, and ordered some food and drink respectively. This is the restaurant of Bruce's family. Others may need to make an appointment in advance, but the people of Bruce's family naturally don't need it. Although Afu seems to be just the housekeeper of the Wayne family, in fact, during the years when Bruce left home, almost all the property of the Wayne family was concentrated in Afu's hands. Bruce had collected enough money to acquire the Wayne Group before his sudden return, all of which was brought back from Afu. If Afu had a darker heart, he could have swept away the entire estate of Wayne's family, but the old man didn't do that. Therefore, he is also one of Bruce's most trusted people, so Afu can directly intervene in Bruce's industry, even Bruce's Batman equipment and so on. It's not a problem to have a meal in your own restaurant. After a while, the food started to be served, and Carla was not ambiguous. She ordered several good steaks from 777, and opened a bottle of the most expensive red wine. It's definitely not bad. While eating and drinking, just as she was eating and drinking happily, Carla noticed that Harvey and Rachel had left early at some point. Then there were only Jennifer and Bruce left there. Before they left, a few more desserts were brought in front of Jennifer. Jennifer ate one bite at a time, while Bruce was talking softly. Carla frowned. She picked up a piece of steak with a fork in her right hand and a wine glass in her left hand. There was still food in her mouth, so she just passed by. Afu didn't even react. When he looked up, he saw why the person had disappeared. After searching for 2 times, he realized that Carla had already reached the side of the 2 people over there. Standing quietly beside the 2, Carla just looked at Bruce and Jennifer. "Hey, what are you doing?" Carla said suddenly, which startled the 2 of them. Jennifer didn't notice her existence until she turned her head, especially when she saw her current image. She pressed Carla down dumbfounded and asked her to watch the table to eat, so as not to look too impolite. Bruce was also a little uncomfortable, and asked, "I told Afu that the car you drove away will be given to you. Aren't you going back to the metropolis?" Carla sneered, "So Yan drove her away?" There was no way. 99. Carla sat down and didn't leave. Afu had no choice but to have the things delivered here. "I've entertained her on the other side, master, she came here by herself." Afu began to shrug off responsibility as soon as he came over, as if it wasn't because of him that Carla knew Bruce had dated Jennifer in the first place. Carla didn't expose him either, just looked at Jennifer. Jennifer, who looked uncomfortable, explained, "It was Harvey and Rachel who asked me and Bruce, Mr. Wayne to be their witnesses. To explain is to cover up, and you just changed your address, right?" Carla rolled her eyes, then turned to Bruce and said, "I don't want your broken car. It's really cool to drive out, but I'm worried that it will be scratched in the parking lot if you throw it outside, and the maintenance cost is also an expense. The most important thing is what's more, I'm afraid I won't be able to accompany you if I lose it. So forget it." Bruce wanted to say that you didn't give up when you destroyed the Batmobile that was probably worth more than $1 billion. The problem with the car was a trivial matter after all, so Carla naturally didn't take it to heart. After returning home, she would pay off the remaining car loan, and then buy another car with a loan. In fact, she could have paid off the car loan a long time ago, and it was very simple. Carla had shown Jennifer before that she, who has mastered the magic of the 4 elements, can even change 1,000 elements into gold. This is a bit similar to alchemy, but it is more high level than that. In fact, Carla does not use alchemy to make gold into gold. She is similar to creating or analyzing and reconstructing the elements in it. It is very troublesome to explain in detail, because the author does not understand. But Carla is different, she has a lot of useful or useless knowledge, she can even be an archaeologist, geologist, and so on. If she wanted to, almost one person could trigger a global inflation. It's just that Carla doesn't want to live that kind of meaningless life. The ensuing atmosphere was a bit awkward, only Carla was still eating food with a big heart, Jennifer's eyes kept averting, and Bruce smiled wryly and didn't know how to speak. Again, when Bruce puts on a mask of camouflage to cover up Batman, he can almost be mistaken for the real one, making people think he's really a playboy. But in fact he is not. So when he faced Jennifer and Carla with their true colors, he didn't know what to do, and he was much more clumsy than usual. As for Afu, he doesn't go into troubled waters, but he will also show concern for Jennifer. Don't forget that Jennifer still has a little Master Wayne in her stomach. Others may never know the gender of the child, but Carla already knew in advance that she would have a godson. Hope not to be like his father. In this way, the meal was finished silently in an embarrassing atmosphere. In fact, Jennifer and Virus had finished eating long ago. The reason why they didn't leave was to talk about something, but Carla interrupted them halfway. Carla didn't feel sorry at all, she should eat and drink, and took an extra bottle of wine before leaving. Anyway, Bruce paid for it. When we parted, Bruce originally wanted to send them back, but later he asked Afu to drive them, and Bruce drove home by himself. It seems that Bruce has a psychological shadow on Carla. The main reason is that Carla's scrutinizing gaze is so sharp that Bruce dare not face it, who made him feel guilty. In this way, the two sisters returned to Jennifer's house in Afu's car. After returning, Carla opened a valuable red wine, sat there holding a glass, and once again showed her scrutinizing eyes to Jennifer, who was going to change clothes by herself. "Look into my eyes." Carla found that Jennifer had been facing away from her, so she couldn't help making a sound, and specially replaced it with Oracle Man's voice, which was hoarse, deep, and full of fear. But Jennifer was not afraid of her, and muttered, "Wait until I finish changing." Carla felt dissatisfied and asked, "Didn't you say you have let go?" Jennifer said without looking back, "I let it go, but he asked me out." "I mean let it go, but I didn't say that I would ignore him for the rest of my life." Carla sneered, mouthing the BCH silently. "Don't scold me." It turned out that Jennifer seemed to have eyes behind her, because she was so familiar, she could guess how Carla would react, and said angrily, "What can I do? I just put down Bruce Wayne, I just said I liked Batman, but you turned around and told me that Batman and Bruce are the same person, what can I do?" As she said that, Jennifer turned her head and looked at Carla resentfully. "I wanted to get rid of this child before, but now I have changed my mind. I really let go of Bruce, but picked up another Bruce, what can I do? I can't get rid of him for the rest of my life, and I can't help it. And Carla, if you had told me earlier, maybe I would have been mentally prepared earlier, so what do you think I should do?" Carla was also very helpless. She wanted to tell Jennifer at the beginning, and thought that Jennifer might not be able to get rid of Bruce. She had a crush on Bruce at first, and she has been in love for 10 years. Later, due to various reasons, the feelings were transferred from Bruce to Batman. With this girl's persistence and dedication to feelings, it may take another 10 years. But I never expected that Batman turned out to be Bruce, and just as soon as he put it down, he picked it up again. In fact, Jennifer was also very speechless. At the beginning, she wanted to abolish the child Ming-Zi, but after finding out that Bruce was Batman, she began to fall into a daze. In fact, Carla has seen this kind of person before. Otherwise, this kind of person would not love, give you heart, or give you anything. But once in love, you can sacrifice everything for love, and Jennifer was completely freed after that night. However, Bruce's pit is too deep. He thought he had climbed out, but he didn't expect to be at the bottom of the pit. Unless he comes back for another night, maybe he will be relieved to see Wong. But this time it was different. After changing into her pajamas at home, Jennifer came over and threw herself on Carla's lap, knelt on the ground, wrapped her hands around Carla's slender waist, looked up at Carla pitifully. Rachel agreed to Harvey's marriage proposal. She and Bruce also explained it clearly. "Before you came here just now, Bruce kept talking about this matter. He had already talked with Rachel. And then?" Carla sneered. Jennifer shook Carla's waist, and continued to say pitifully, "He said he would give me an explanation, such as starting from the beginning, and he came to pursue me. And you also know that I have liked him since I was a student, 10 years, Carla." Carla hated iron and steel to push her, and started calling Bruce. "If you give some sunshine, you will start to rot, right? 100. In fact, Jennifer is already a very strong and self-reliant woman in the new era. Before realizing that Bruce only had Rachel in his heart, she decisively chose to let go, although the way she chose was a bit that way, which made Carla criticize her more than once. But it is undeniable that Jennifer is different from someone who can fall into the arms of others in a blink of an eye. Jennifer's single-mindedness can even last 10 years because of a crush on someone she is too infatuated. I also have to say that Bruce does have a fascinating personality. On the one hand, he is a suave and uninhibited son, and on the other hand, he is a superhero Batman who insists on faith and fights evil. Bewitched Jennifer. Now Bruce is completely dumped by Rachel again. The reason is said to be because Harvey replaced Bruce at the press conference before, saying that he is Batman. This makes Rachel disappointed with Bruce. Although Carla thinks it's funny, you're disappointed. Could it be that she and Bruce didn't protect Harvey? Didn't Joker know it was a fake? The police station was undercover, and Harvey and Rachel seemed to be brazenly keeping this secret. The plan was told directly. Doesn't Joker know that Harvey is not Batman 293? He definitely knew Harvey wasn't. I really don't know why that woman's brain circuit is so fresh. And this also made Bruce completely give up on Rachel. Carla had ridiculed Bruce for staring at other people's girlfriends before, and now it is impossible for him to pester other people's fiancées anymore. And Bruce was already confessing before Carla came to bother him. He told Jennifer at the time that he sensed that Jennifer was the one for him because Rachel resisted Bruce's identity as Batman and Jennifer supported Batman. Rachel didn't know, maybe the real Bruce had died in that back alley, or died with his parents, or went to meet Carmine alone after seeing the decay and darkness of Gotham City. Falcone has since died. After that, he was reborn as Batman. Batman is everything to Bruce now, and it is also the most important existence for him to stick to his beliefs and uphold justice. But Rachel wants Bruce to give up Batman before being with him. And while making this promise, she also fell in love with someone else. Bruce finally sees who he really needs. It's definitely not Rachel, even if Rachel may really have feelings for him in a certain period of time, it's definitely not her. It's Jennifer, a person who can guard him for 10 years, but will never completely rely on or hinder him. She is also the person who still supports him without hesitation after knowing his double body identity, and recognizes his beliefs. It's just that now, it's no longer Jennifer who revolves around him, but it's Bruce's turn to find a way to pursue Jennifer. The relationship between the two of them, at least in Carla's view, is a pair of happy enemies, and she can't control it anyway. No wonder Carla will see the presence of the eldest son Damian Wayne. That's the only way to go. Then Carla stayed in Gotham City for nearly a month, because those gangsters hadn't completed their trials yet, and during this period, maybe something else would happen. During the period, there were indeed some bosses who were unwilling to fight back, and some even wanted to continue to attack Jennifer. Then those few people and even all their subordinates were uprooted by the mysterious man overnight, and everyone was hanged by hanging, and the whole Gotham City was shocked overnight. Jennifer just said not long ago that hangings are gone, but this happened within a few days. Some people thought it was a provocation to Jennifer, but only Jennifer didn't think so. She knew that Carla was protecting herself, and Carla had already declared to Bruce that she would not be Oracle Man, so she was the mysterious person that no one knew about identity. So Jennifer took the opportunity to warn those gangsters, "Don't, Kat, be stubborn again, let's be honest and wait for the trial, at least you can survive this way. Otherwise they are likely to die." Those people finally calmed down. With the full cooperation of Xiaolu and the efforts of the prosecutors headed by Harvey, they finally collected enough evidence to bring everyone to justice. Among them, many undercover agents were also uprooted. Including Gordon, who has been promoted to the director, has one of his most trusted female police detectives. Because her mother was threatened during the hospitalization, she also cooperated with Joker to do some wrong things. Therefore, she was dismissed and investigated, and she was imprisoned for half a year. And the female police detective was the one who arranged to escort Harvey, and she was with Harvey and Rachel at that time, that is to say, she heard the two people talking, and knew that Harvey and Batman had a plan. So, Rachel and Harvey are actually quite suitable. They are both so stupid, knowing that there are undercover agents around them, they dare to say anything. Finally, the gangsters in Gotham City were completely destroyed, and most of the money of the gangsters was confiscated. For a while, the citizens of Gotham City clapped their hands and cheered. And during this period, people have been ignoring one thing, that is, Batman and Oracle Man began to slowly sink down. As Joker said, if there were no super criminals, then the superhero would stand on the opposite side and become everyone's thorn in the side. Bruce has chosen to let Batman's identity go away for a while when he doesn't need it, and he's too busy right now to be courting Jennifer every spare moment. He is now like the former Jennifer, and the identities of the two have been reversed. Carla didn't like the two of them, just doing it. If they were together well from the beginning, where did so many things come from? But who can say for sure about the relationship? If they didn't do like this, they might not be able to get together. A month later, after the last gangster was tried and imprisoned, Carla was finally going back to the metropolis. This incident here seems to have not experienced much fighting, but the degree of trouble and danger is far greater than the last time against the Shadow Warrior Alliance. After such a comparison, Lars is a fool. As long as he is defeated, it will be solved. Joker is different here. one link within another, all calculations. Sometimes killing him is the trick. Joker is horrible. Just a scheming boy. When sending Carla away, Jennifer also wanted to give Carla the white bat she had left behind, but Carla refused. There are two people, Jennifer and Bruce, a black bat and a white bat, and she follows along to join in the fun. Remember the promise you made to transfer back to Metropolis, Carla said to Jennifer intentionally before leaving, not forgetting to make Bruce unhappy. Jennifer suppressed a smile and nodded, I will think about it. Bruce is anxious, he is anxious. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you are notified of future uploads. You can find the next parts in the playlist visible on the screen or on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.